Hey guys, and welcome back, Quality Shot Tennis. Today we've got the Australian Open. We've got the #1 versus the #1 of all time in a match that's very hard to predict what we're going to see because Novak's Novak. He played really well in their quarterfinal match that he played against Zverev. In the quarterfinal against Zverev, he played really well, won in 4 sets, pretty straightforward. Reminds you a little bit of the Australian Open earlier this year, beating Alcaraz, but Djokovic is coming into the semifinal healthier, and he did not have as grueling as a quarterfinal this time for sure. He played a tennis IQ masterclass in that one, really. But he's playing against a completely different player in this situation. Sinner is the favorite, but yeah, you can never count Novak out. Absolutely. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So Djokovic has not lost in straight sets in a completed Grand Slam match in over 7 years. The last time was against Hyun Chung in the Australian Open in 2018. So if Djokovic loses in straight sets, something would happen that hasn't happened in a long time. Djokovic has not been, going away quietly at these slam tournaments, let's just say for the last forever. I mean, since 2011, Djokovic has been the man at these slams pretty much nonstop. He's again in the semifinals. He's here for a reason, playing well. Let me know what you think is going to happen. I could see pretty much any result here outside of Novak in straight sets. Anything else, I don't think Novak will win in straight sets, but I could see anything else happening. I'm going to take Sinner in 4 sets, but let me know what you guys think. I could also see Sinner in 5. I could see Novak in 5. Fingers crossed for Novak. It's going to be a great, crazy match. Novak with the backhand into the net. We'll see how Novak responds. He's lost his last 3 matches against Jannik. Jannik is looking for a winning head-to-head against Novak. Nobody has beaten Novak Djokovic 4 times in a row since his prime began in 2011. That has not happened. Sinner is looking to do just that. Let's see if he can manage it. Sinner likely to win in 3. I think Djokovic will do well to win a set. I think that Novak will win at least 1 set, but we'll see. Key for Novak to start very well. Fair enough. He's playing against a completely different player than Zverev, a player that's going to take his chances. You know that. So that doesn't fare as well for Novak, but I really think Novak is playing at a very high level, and I expect Novak to take at least 1 set, honestly. I'll be mildly surprised if Novak doesn't take at least 1 set. Not, I won't be blown away, but I'll be mildly surprised. I think Novak takes at least a set. Serve here from Djokovic. Out wide. Forehand Novak. Back to the forehand of Sinner. Forehand of Djokovic. Cross court, forehand of center. That's going to go long. So 30-15 for Djokovic, who opted to serve first here. All right, let me know your predictions in the chat as well. What you guys think is going to happen here. Should be a good one. Go center. All right. Let's go on Simone. Novak can't afford to have under 50% first serve like he did in the opening set versus Zverev. He's 65% first set on serve. Center will look to race into early lead. He starts like a hurricane, 100%. But Novak in the big matches, the biggest matches, he usually goes to a very strong start. I remember Roland Garros a couple of years ago. Novak, that was the least Novak ever looked like himself to that point to me by far, coming into the semifinals. And then against Alcaraz, when everybody was picking Alcaraz to win, including myself, Novak started the match just at a level 5 times where he was for the rest of, just Novak knows how to peak, right? It's a superhuman kind of power. He knows when to peak. It's amazing. And yeah, you just never see it coming. So I think Novak is going to, I mean, obviously he's going to put his 100% for a Grand Slam semi against Jannik. Novak hasn't lost to anyone outside of Nadal in a long time at RG. It was Team in 2019. Yes. That's 100% correct. Novak lost to Rafa in 2022, Roland Garros quarterfinal. Since then, 2023, he won the tournament. To be fair, 2024, he withdrew with a health issue. Likely would have lost, to be honest, in my opinion, but you never know. But anyway, he withdrew, and then, yeah, Olympics, he won the match. So he hasn't actually lost a match at the tournament, technically, since he lost to Rafa in 2022. That's right. And a year before that, he won the tournament. And, oh, I see what you're saying. And then, yeah, the year before that, he lost to Rafa. So, yeah, the last time he lost to somebody that's not Rafa was 2019. That's right. That was Team in 5 sets, 7-5 in the 5th. One of the great wins against the big 3 from a player outside of the big 3. I remember 2023, everyone was like, Alcaraz will demolish him. I remember so clearly, and then we saw what happened. That's true. I remember that well, too. But, yeah, I mean, I guess in a way he wore Alcaraz out. Too bad. That match could have been one of the great all-time matches. That second set, I still think, is one of the greatest sets in their rivalry, and that's saying so much with how many classics they've played already. From Madrid to Cincinnati to Wimbledon to Olympics last year, Djokovic-Alcaraz is always a classic, but that set number 2 at the Roland Garros, I still think is one of the best sets they've ever played. I think it might be the second best set they've ever played behind Cincinnati set number 3. It was that good. It was a special kind of a set. So if they played 5 sets there, it could have been a blockbuster. But anyway, that's what it is. Backhand down the line from center, put away, 40 love. Sinner been going about his business. A lot of people would say that this is not Sinner's best surface, but he has yet to drop a set. He's won 26 consecutive sets at majors. He's won the last 2 Grand Slams played, which is fantastic. He has now won 19 consecutive matches at majors, which is only 7 other players in the Open era have done that, and all of the other players that have done that are just all-time greats. From Connors, McEnroe, Sampras, Borg, Laver, Federer, Nadal, Djokovic. I believe that's the players that have done it. So Sinner joins the likes of the absolute top elite ever in the Open era. Sinner in his 6th major semifinal, Djokovic in his 51st. 1 game apiece. Backhand Sinner. Backhand of Djokovic. It's going to go long. Love 15. This is a 38-year-old Novak Djokovic. So I guess you have to think about if the match gets super physical and goes to 5, but with Djokovic, it's just a little bit different. You never know. I mean, he can do, you don't want to count him out from being able to do anything. This 5-set record is so stellar. In fact, Sinner is the person who I still feel he probably hasn't been tested quite enough in 5 sets. That's like the only thing you can say about Jannik. And I mean, just objectively, he lost a lot of 5-setters earlier in his career. So it's kind of fair to say. Redraw. That's not going to be good enough from Sinner. Not going to be good enough from Sinner. 15-all. Djokovic. They've only played once on clay, and that was back in 2021. So this is really their first true meeting on clay. But that one was, of course, won by Novak. Forehand of Sinner, cross court. Forehand of Djokovic, forehand of Sinner. Down the line. That catches the line. Or is it out? It was called out. Umpire's out. Umpire's out of his chair to check. Calls it out. 3-15. But yeah, Djokovic definitely needs to be out there serving well. I don't know. I mean, with Djokovic, there's so many different ways to play. It's really, I don't know. I mean, does he want to make this a physical and go to a 5 sets? Knowing just on paper, probably not a good idea. But Sinner, yeah, we'll see. It's hard to know where they're going to be tactics wise. I think after the first set, it's going to be easier to tell. But Novak definitely needs to serve well. I agree with you there. Backhand cross court. Matthew, what you're saying in the chat. Novak needs to serve well, definitely. Backhand goes to the backhand of Sinner. Forehand of Novak. Forehand. That's in the net from Jannik. Djokovic at 40-15. How you doing, Zarafine? Good to see you. Sinner's had 3 free months off to prepare for clay, though. Yeah, I mean, it's true. I'm scared of Sinner, not going to lie. I would have expected this level in AO, but not here. Sinner's good. He's crazy good, man. Across all surfaces. I actually think today was a 5-setter or just slightly edged Novak. I would be like 50-50, but that's a compliment to Djokovic at 38 years old. But yeah, Sinner hasn't been tested enough in 5 sets. You know, he won his first Grand Slam with a 5-setter, but Medvedev was just completely out of gas. He literally played over a day going into the 5th set there. In that tournament, what a shot from Sinner. A flick cross court. His movement is just all-time good at this point. It was not ever, I mean, it wasn't bad early in his career, but it was nowhere even in the same universe as where it was suddenly, you know, post the US Open 2023. It just, to me, the biggest improvement. People talk about the serve because the serve was actually an issue for him beforehand, but his movement just became literally all-time stellar, unbelievable in such a short period of time. Sinner's not going to give up in any games. That worked for him at the Australian Open. Key game last time that they played in the 4th set. Novak was up 40-love on his serve, and he hits a drop shot that looked like a winner. Sinner hits the shot of the match. Amazing flick cross court. Novak can't get to it. He breaks in that game. He wins the 4th. He had match point in the 3rd set. Novak got that one and got the 3rd set, pushed it to 4 sets. And yeah, Sinner barely able to scramble through the 4th. But for the most part, it was a pretty one-sided match for Jannik. The first 2 sets were incredibly one-sided. We'll see what happens here. But yeah, in terms of how's it going, KC? Good to see you. In terms of 5 sets, I mean, Sinner, he won his Grand Slam final, his first Grand Slam, with a 5-set victory from 2 sets down, but Medvedev was just like so out of gas. Sinner played really well, credit to him. But then you go to Roland Garros, and he loses to Alcaraz in 5 sets in the semis. That was a year ago. He loses 5 sets to Medvedev at Wimbledon. That's the match that he would have regret. I think on grass against Medvedev, he would have liked to win that one in the quarters. He did. If we take Sinner by his word, he didn't get a single minute of sleep that night. So, and he definitely didn't look like himself in that match. That said, 5 sets against Medvedev, he loses it. 5th set's pretty one-sided. It was surprising to me. I thought it was going to be a really close 5th set. Sinner kind of goes away at the start of that set. And then U.S. Open, I don't think he played a single 5-setter. I think maybe the same thing for the Australian Open. I don't think he played a single 5-setter. So it's really the only area where he hasn't been tested. Credit to him. He's made it so that a lot of matches are 3 sets, at most 4 sets. But that's the one thing. And Djokovic has obviously the greatest 5th set record of all time. You know, you think of Bjorn Borg. I mean, for some reason, Kei Nishikori has a stellar 5-set record. But Djokovic is the king of 5 sets. He's the absolute king of 5 sets, like 40-11. It's unbelievable. Not just the record, but the amount of 5-setters he's played, and yet he has such a positive win rate. Even in recent years, even from 2 sets down. So Djokovic's the king of 5 sets. We'll see. He beat Alcaraz on clay at Roland Garros last year at the Olympics. That was less than a year ago. And he's going to be looking to do the same against Sinner. Sinner looking to make it the very first Sinner-Alcaraz Grand Slam final. Right after we got the first big final between the two. Looking for the first Grand Slam final. As they show Andre Agassi, one of the GOATs, watching on. 8 Grand Slam titles, 14 Grand Slam finals, career Grand Slam. One of the all-timers. Career Golden Slam. Love the Alcaraz in the middle. Good to see you. Yes. Yeah, good to see you as well, KC. That AO 2024 match was the worst match I've seen Novak play in a long time. It was a really weird match. I'm not going to lie, but I mean, yeah. Last year was filled with some weird Novak performances every now and again, but he got the gold medal, and that was what he wanted last year, so he peaked at the right moment. He knows how to do that, Novak. So he misses a drop shot into the net. He hit about 500 drop shots against Zverev. He hit more drop shots than second serves. He almost didn't miss a single one, so that's a shot he'll want to have work in here today. Alcaraz has beat Sinner four meetings in a row, and that drop shot is something you would see quite a bit in an Alcaraz versus Sinner match. Forehand down the line, goes out from Djokovic, 40-15. This is always one of those fun matches because it's so unpredictable. Like, it's very hard to know what we're going to see. Actually, it kind of reminds me of Sabalenka versus Swiatek yesterday. It's actually not that dissimilar. You know, Djokovic starting to play a better level in this tournament. Swiatek starting to play a better level in this tournament. Won this tournament multiple times in the past. Used to be, you know, dominant number 1, playing against the world number 1. Unpredictable to know what's going to happen. We'll see if we get a similar result as we did in Sabalenka versus Swiatek, but it's actually not that dissimilar of a situation as we saw yesterday. Alcaraz getting the win over Musetti earlier today. Could have gone dangerous after the first 2 sets. Alcaraz gets out of that second set tiebreaker and then runs away with it. Musetti retiring in the 4th. Alcaraz back-to-back Roland Garros finals. Men 38 plus years old to win a Roland Major semifinal, one of the greatest of all time, Richard Pancho Gonzalez. At 40 years old, 1968 Roland Garros, that was the last time. Jimmy Connors, 1991 U.S. Open. Rosewall 5 times, last semifinal he made at 42. Be interesting if Djokovic can match that in 4 years. Federer did it once. Yeah, some great players there. And now Djokovic. Serve here from Novak. Forehand. Goes to the forehand of center. Cross court, forehand of center. Down the line, backhand of Djokovic. Backhand of center. Goes to the backhand of Djokovic. Backhand of center down the line. Forehand of Novak. Drop shot. Center reads it. Even if Novak made it, I think center wins that point. Center read it immediately. I think even before he saw Novak change his grip, I think center was moving forward. So that's good for center. He is locked in to all the strategy. And Novak has tried, I think, 3 drop shots and missed each of them. So 2 or 3 now. So that's not good for Novak. Love 15. Is this going to be an early break moment for Yannick? As I said before, Yannick almost beat Novak in straight sets in Australia in their last meeting. He had a match point 2 straight sets, Novak, but it was 4 sets. We'll see if Novak can, get a set today and maybe even more than that. That's a great serve from Novak. I think Novak will be happier. I think he'll be happier to play center on a clay court than on a hard court at the moment for his chances. And that's crazy to say about probably the greatest hardcourt player of all time. Or the greatest hardcourt player of all time. Backhand, cross court, goes to the backhand of Novak. Backhand down the line. Forehand of Djokovic. Backhand of Sinner. Got a backhand rally. Very heavy conditions. Forehand down the line. Novak is there. It's in the net, though. 15-30. Watch out. Sinner dictating the court, making Novak move physically side to side. Those are not the points Novak wants to play. There's no doubt. Novak needs to make the first serves. He was doing that well in the first couple games, and he needs to do that, or else Sinner is going to, be able to dictate these rallies right from the jump. Going to be crucial here, no doubt. Gets a high percentage kick serve out wide. Backhand of Djokovic. Goes to the backhand of Sinner. Drop shot. It's going to be good. Sinner's there. Lob over Sinner. Sinner runs back. Backhand cross court's in the net. Good play from Novak. Gutsy a bit playing Yannick, but that's what you have to be against these greats. Listen, if they win those points, too good, but you have to give yourself those chances, and that's what I feel like above anything Zverev was not able to do against Djokovic. Just go for it, But I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Just really take your chances and go for it. And Novak able to do that there. And same thing he was doing against Zverev, 30-all. Big point. Another one. Another big point here. Sinner looking ready to pounce. Djokovic wants the first serve in. He gets it, but it's not too strong of a first serve. He misses the backhand cross court. First serve almost looked more like a second serve. Very short in the box. Gave Sinner plenty of time. It's a break point, the first of the match for either of these guys out here. 20 minutes into this one. Djokovic will need to save this break point early. Can he get just a good first serve and not let Sinner go on the attack and aggressive early? Another high percentage kick out wide. Wow, weird bounce from Sinner. Puts up the racket to apologize, but it's 3-2 for Yannick. Well, yeah, Novak needs to serve better. He needs to serve better. Like he really stuck with that. That was a weird bounce. Novak whiffed on it. You don't see that often. As they show the awkward slow-mo. That's so unlucky. Bad bounce, man. Yes. All right, guys. I'll be back in 1 minute. But yeah, 3-2 for Yannick. It was unlucky, yeah. All right, here we go. 3-2 game. Sinner to serve. He still has not dropped a set at this tournament. A straight sets win today would mean 29 consecutive sets at majors. We'll see what Novak can do to fight his way back into this one. He's still got plenty of time here. Just down a break in the first. Forehand inside out goes to the backhand of Djokovic. Forehand of Sinner. The backhand of Novak down the line. Forehand of Sinner. Forehand of Djokovic. Missed it down the line. 40 love. I will say, I think this rivalry to me is a really good example of how much 1 point, right? Let's say even one match can have an effect on a rivalry. I really think their Davis Cup semifinal with Novak, he must have felt like he would have had a great chance to lead Serbia into a title there when he had match point against Jannik, 3 of them in the semifinal there that year. And Sinner able to fight his way back. And I just feel like that match people don't talk about enough. I think, to me, it changed the scope of this rivalry because that was the first time Novak lost a match up match point, up multiple match points since 2009. It was a couple of decades before that. And it's kind of hard to articulate just the importance of it, but he is so stoic in those moments, usually mentally, that it just must have completely thrown him off to have his young rival, just pull a Djokovic on himself, basically. Like that was a Djokovic moment from Jannik. And that must have been absolutely heartbreaking for Novak, especially to end off such a monster season of 2023, which would have been so hard to follow up physically, mentally, and just, literally follow up the achievement that he had in 2023, barely not making making the final of every tournament that year, winning most of the titles. He won 4 out of the 5 biggest tournaments that year and won in straight sets in each of those finals. Like, it would have been such a heartbreaker to end the year and such a surprising shock for Novak and something he had to sit on for the whole of that offseason. And listen, if he got into a mindset of, man, I'm going to get him next time, you certainly didn't show it against Jannik at his very best tournament at the Australian Open next year. I think it mentally shook him a little bit. And it's props to Jannik for pulling off a win like that. So I think that's not talked about enough. I think had Novak converted on those match points and won following his straight sets win against Jannik in the final of the ATP Finals, I think this rivalry could look completely different than it does now. I mean, Jannik maybe would have won still 1 or 2 of those matches, but I don't think he would be on the verge of winning 4 pretty straightforward matches in a row. I just don't think that would be the case. Novak misses a bad volley trying to serve and volley. It's love 30. This could get away from him quickly this first set. I don't think it's talked about enough. That Davis Cup match does carry any weight today. Novak's 38 can't move like did 2 years ago. Sinner moves better. This ends in 3 comfortable. Yeah, absolutely. But Sinner won that Davis Cup match. So I'm just saying, I think that match gave Jannik the confidence for his last few matches. So, but yeah, I mean, it was a while ago, so I can understand if you're not looking at a match like that to determine the outcome today. And it's on a completely, obviously, pretty much opposite surface. Novak serving has fallen off here. Second serve, first serve in the middle of the net, looking a bit lousy right there. But I don't know. I don't know if this is as comfortable and easy as it's currently appearing. I think it might get more dangerous for Jannik at some point down the road. But Novak does need to serve better. He did lose the first set against Zverev. Novak can go down, an early, not play that well at the beginning of a match and then lock in later. We've seen him do that before. But I just think the mental to me, the mental ripples of that match have had an effect on all of the matches in their head-to-head since, including this one, for me. That goes out from Yannick Long, so 30 all. But yeah, Novak can start pretty poorly and then, find his way back in later. Against Rafa in 2021, he went down 5-0 in the first set, and I think he had set point to lose that set 6-0. Eventually, he would make it 6-3, and then he won the next 3 sets, So he can go down early in the match, so I'll just say that. I am aware this is a different Djokovic 4 years later, but I don't think, Djokovic is Djokovic. He still can play a very top level. We saw that at the Olympics last year. The tough thing for Novak, though, I will say, is that he's basically playing a player that plays very much like himself, although a bit more aggressive, perhaps with a better serve at times, even, you might be able to argue. But a lot of the time, he can do everything a little bit better at the moment. I'm not saying no center of today would beat Novak 2011 necessarily, but Novak, 38 years old, against center in his prime right now, it's like right now he's playing a guy who can basically play like him, but do everything a little bit better. Clearly, drop shots were a part of the strategy, but he's missed every single one he's hit so far, it feels like. This is not good for Novak. It's a bit shocking, actually. It kind of reminds me of their last meeting at the Australian Open. Last meeting in a major, I should say. Their last meeting was in Shanghai last year, where Novak lost in 2 sets in the final. Forehand the net. Good, better serve from Novak. Needs those. Only chance Novak had today was to have served like he did in the Olympic final. Well, we'll see. That's a better serve, though, from Novak. Forehand, cross court, lob. Good shot. Yeah. Novak's overhead is just his worst shot. It really is. Novak better opt for a forehand there if he knows that was such a difficult shot for anybody, actually. Running backwards, hitting a smash. I mean, it's a good defensive lob, but that is not good tennis IQ from Novak. He's got to be willing to go backwards, hit a forehand. I know at that point he'll be on his back foot, and Sinner will be looking to step in, and he could finish off the point, maybe even on the next shot. But if you're just going to miss an overhead right into the net, you might as well just try something out other than that. Because that's a difficult shot for anybody, but if you're hitting your worst shot and you're hitting the most difficult version of your worst shot, it's not going to, I have news for you, it's not going to end well. But people often feel like they have to hit the overhead from those positions. You really don't. Smash behind center is a good play. On clay, it's so hard to switch directions sometimes. And it was there. Deuce. Be a big moment for Novak. Get out of this game. Be huge for him, confidence-wise, mentally, to find his way out of this game. The infamous Djoko smash. Yeah, absolutely. Why would it mentally shove Novak? He had won 3 slams that year, overtaken the big 3. In fact, his motivation must have went down, if anything. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of factors, but I really think that Davis Cup match was a big one. I have yet to... I think it's an interesting discussion to have, but until proven otherwise, or until I hear it from Djokovic himself, I really think that Davis Cup match was one of those big factors. To me, it was. I would say age, motivation, just following up the last year before was a big thing. The big 3, like you said, Djokovic, Federer, Federer and Nadal going away. Good hold from Djokovic, better serving at the end there, gets the 4-3. I would say that was, to me, that's a big factor as well, that Davis Cup match. Djokovic, please save your face. Go back at home, please. Okay. Sadly, we missed the boat for these two to have a great Grand Slam clash. It should have happened AO, but Novak overplaying 23 and had no offseason, played awful in AO. He didn't play well, I agree with you. That was one of his worst slams. How's it going, Peaches? Good to see you. It's been a while, I feel like. Good to see you in here. Hitting a forehand would continue the rally. Doesn't want the rally to continue, but he's not going to make that shot, though. He doesn't. He's never made that shot in his whole career. He's not going to make that shot. Peaches, what have you been up to? Let me know. Catch me up. That was a good hold, though, for Novak's confidence there. Here we go. 4-3 starting off. Love 15. Djokovic trying to fight his way back into the match. I will say this. Novak is so weird, man. He sometimes starts a Grand Slam or he starts off a match not anywhere near his best. And then, yeah, sometimes it stays like that a little bit, like the last time they played in a major, the Australian Open. But other times, you know, he's been hitting horrendous drop shots. His serve fell off a cliff for like a game where he was missing a lot of first serves, or even his first serve just wasn't good enough. But, you know, Novak just sometimes just needs to find, you know, have a little bit of time and lock in a little bit. So let's just see what happens. It's left 15, a big moment for Novak here. He's in a rally. Forehand cross court. The forehand of Djokovic, big cross court. Forehand of Sinner misses it down the line. Left 30. How you doing, Marina? Good to see you in here. It has been, yeah. I felt like it. Life has been a bit crazy. Had to move both home and work. It's been a lot. My account was hacked, so finally working. That sucks. Whenever like your social media is hacked, I had that with my YouTube channel a couple years ago. It's so stressful because you just don't know what your next steps are, and you feel like you have no control over what you're posting or what can happen next. It's honestly like tough. Yeah, I'll try to be at US Open too. I'm going to London for Wimbledon as well, which is going to be very exciting. But I hope to see you in New York. That was cool to meet up last time. Yeah, hopefully things are going well, moving and stuff. That sounds like a bit hectic, no doubt about it. We'll see if this is a chance here for Djokovic. It's 15-30. This is a big, big point. Trying to get 2 break points. He's got a second serve to work with. Backhand. It's lob way up high. Forehand of Jannik. Backhand of Djokovic. Forehand of Jannik now again. Forehand cross court. Forehand of Jannik. Backhand to the forehand of Jannik. I mean, Jannik's ball is falling a little bit shorter maybe than he would want. Not short, but giving Novak a little bit of a chance. Another drop shot. Jannik is there in no time. Drop shot. These drop shots are not going to be good enough, you know. Sinner is quicker than Zverev, too. I will say that. Sinner is quicker than Zverev. He's smarter than Zverev. He's better than Zverev at just about everything. You know, Zverev has an elite world-class backhand. I'm not even sure it's better than Sinner's backhand because Sinner has such a good backhand. Like, Zverev maybe has a better serve. I might give him that. "38 minutes into this one, and Sinner has a great serve, by the way. But I might say Zverev has a better one. Serve, Jannik. First serve into the net. Couple first serves missing from Jannik. Novak opting for some higher balls. We'll see how that strategy works for him. He's got a very his return position is very close inside the core. He misses that backhand, Djokovic. 40-30. Sinner looking in control so far. Yeah, I'm excited. It should be super fun to see London and to go to Wimbledon. Yeah, I'm good now. Still looking for a place to live, but chilling with fam. That's good. It's all cool. Yeah, I'll keep you up to date with New York and U.S. Open and when I'll be there for sure. I'll text you about that and keep you up to date because it would be cool to meet up again and stuff. Forehand slice. Forehand of Jannik is very good. Inside out, it's too good. 5-3. But yeah, I'll be going to Wimbledon, and I just went to Little Rock to interview players for a challenger tournament. We posted some of those videos. Don't know how much of those you saw, but yeah, that was really cool to travel away and then do some interviews. It was really cool. They just showed the average rally hit point for Djokovic, and he is well further behind the baseline in the rallies than he was in the previous rounds before this. So not a good sign for Novak. That's going to go long from Novak. Love 15. Looking a little bit sluggish. Looking a little bit sluggish compared to where Jannik is at. Serve Djokovic down the tee. Forehand inside out, backhand of Sinner. Forehand of Novak, backhand Jannik. Forehand Djokovic, very good. Cross court, it's a big forehand at a moment where it was well needed. You know, he had a chance in the last center service game, went to love 30. If he can hold here, you just never know. He's not out of the set yet. But he's just kind of got to figure out this like winning strategy here today. It was a 95 miles per hour forehand. That's about as big as he usually hits it. Forehand of Jannik. Goes to the forehand of Djokovic. Too good. 30-15. Serve Djokovic on tee that's an ace. So I don't think Djokovic is serving badly in the set. I think he had a moment where it felt like he's not doing too good, but Sinner slipped there on the clay, and then he was kind of feeling his leg or his ankle a little bit. I don't know how much it means. I mean, these pros and like Sinner, they're just very cautious to any little problem because they know that it can build up into something bigger. So just because he's looking at something, I'm not sure it means that necessarily there's an issue there, but something to keep an eye on. I still feel like Novak's in this set. We'll see. 5-4. All right, no problem. Okay, cool. I'm going fan week. Then first 3 days was squeaky, but might go next week too. So let's meet up. The ticket prices are so ridiculous. They are so bad this year. Absolutely. Yep. Sinner strategy seems to be play like Sinner. Yeah. That's fair. Well, it's like Novak in these rallies is like, it's going to be very hard for him to just kind of play forehand, backhand, and backhand because at the moment, like I said, Sinner plays very much like Novak, but he's got just more pace of shot, and he can hit with such consistent depth like Novak. It's just going to be very hard to play like that. But we'll see what Novak is able to do. That's why it's so hard when you play against a guy who plays similar to you, and they're maybe a little bit better. At the moment, Sinner is, you would have to say, a better player than Djokovic in this, if you're talking about this year as a whole and the last, since the US Open, well, since, 2024, 2025, Sinner is a better player than Djokovic in general. So it's going to be hard for Novak to find that winning strategy. That's an ace for Sinner. 15 love. I said this earlier at the beginning of the stream, but the last time Djokovic lost in straight sets in a completed match before the final of a Grand Slam was Australian Open 2018. Oh, what a get from Novak. Forehand, that's going to be too big from Jannik, putting it away, 30 love. But yeah, that was 7.5 years ago. Could happen again today. We'll see if Novak's able to take a set. It's a great get from Novak, making Sinner hit one more ball, but it's going to be put away all day. Sinner's athleticism is a thing of beauty, whether it's on defense, whether it's on offense. Sinner trying to win his 27th consecutive set at a major. Forehand cross court, the forehand of Djokovic down the line, backhand of Sinner. Backhand of Djokovic, it's in the net. 40 love. By the way, if Sinner wins in straight sets today, he will tie Djokovic's best for most consecutive sets won at a major. The record in the Open era is Nadal with 35, Connors with 35, and then number one is Federer with 36 consecutive sets won at majors. The all-time record is Tony Trabert with 45 consecutive sets won at majors. He won 2 majors in a row without dropping a set. But the Open era record is 36. Sinner wins the first set. He's up to 27 consecutive sets won at majors. And he's looking for his 3rd consecutive major. He won the first set over Novak. Looking for his 4th win in a row against Djokovic as well. And to go up into head-to-head against Djokovic. The only player currently that has a winning head-to-head against Djokovic, having played Djokovic at least 4 times, is Andy Roddick. Sinner would become just the 2nd player to do so. Novak figure it out. Love it. That one bad game having that unlucky bounce on break point, man. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, he didn't play a stellar game for the rest of that game, and unfortunately, you just can't do that against Sinner because, yeah, just one unlucky bounce or anything like that. You can't do that against anybody, really, because, yeah, just one unlucky bounce or hitting the line. That's all it takes, but definitely unlucky. Gonna look at the stats of that first set. Sinner actually 43% first serves in, but 85% of second serve points won anyway. If Novak can figure it out more on the second serve, then maybe that could be a good thing for him. But so far, not much. Yep. Winners to unforced errors pretty much reversed at the moment. Sinner yet to face a break point. $15 love for Djokovic. We'll see if he can tie this up at a set apiece. A must-win set for Djokovic. Absolute must-win set for Djokovic. Sinner looking to set up the very first Sinner Alcaraz big final. Djokovic looking to play spoiler. Very first Sinner Alcaraz Grand Slam final. Djokovic looking to play spoiler. Backhand cross court. Backhand Djokovic down the line. It's a great shot. Very good backhand down the line. Djokovic needs to get more points like that, and it starts with the first serve. It starts with the first serve. Novak making the decision early, take that up the line, hits it perfectly. Great serve down the tee. That's going to be too good. Good start to the second set for Novak, who's still in this match. It was important for Novak that he stayed close in that first set. And it was an unlucky bad bounce on the break point. That's going to help Novak at least mentally to feel like, hey, I don't know. It wasn't like Sinner just beat me from the back to break or something. 1-0. As long as he's serving well like that, you don't know. Gives himself chances, finds some winning patterns on the surface. You never know how things work out. It is 43% first serves in for Sinner. Jannik hits the backhand of Djokovic, backhand of Sinner, cross court, backhand of Djokovic, forehand of Jannik. It's going to be out. Djokovic winning 5 points in a row to start off this set. Left 15. Good start to the set for Djokovic. Something positive. Forehand of Djokovic down the middle. Forehand of Sinner. Inside out. Good depth from Djokovic. Also good from Sinner. That's going to be too good. 15-all. That's the problem for Novak, is that he can hit with depth, but Sinner will come right back with depth as well, even from tough positions. It's just hard to play against Sinner. Yeah, exactly. He's up against a machine. Level so high from the Italian that any dip in level costs you the set. Yeah. It's even more damning that Sinner chucked in a bad serving display and still won the set. He's only going to get better. I think that's very fair, honestly. And if he does, you could be right about that straight set. If his level only does get better, could be right about that assessment. That's going to be straight sets. Double fault from Jannik, 15-30. Does the pressure of the moment get to you? We must remember, Jannik is playing for something he's never done before, which is get to a Roland Garros final. He's got Alcaraz waiting. Forehand of Sinner, inside out, goes to the backhand of Djokovic. Backhand of Sinner. Backhand Djokovic. Chance for Djokovic here. Sinner's so good at planting his feet and hitting a big shot. Another drop shot's another one in the net. It's just not working. And so Djokovic gets a big smile. He's trying the drop shot, but it's just not working at all. I guess the play for Novak was to just hit as many drop shots as possible, even if you're not in a good position to hit them. But obviously that's not working, and I don't think that would be a good idea anyway. That'd be a terrible idea. Because if you're not in a good position to hit the drop shot, which feels like half the shot times that Djokovic has tried it, he's been in just a really unexpected position to try the drop shot. It's like Sinner is so quick, vertically moving up the court, getting there, and still getting on top of it and hitting it with topspin. It's just going to be such a tough position for Novak, and it's going to become pretty physical for Novak at that point. It's a good deep ball from Novak. Backhand to backhand rally, backhand Sinner, a little bit bigger. Backhand Djokovic. Got a backhand battle here. Forehand now from Sinner down the line. Backhand slice Djokovic defending. Forehand inside out. Backhand Novak goes up the line. Sinner toying with him. Forehand comes in. That's a chance for Novak to lob smash put away. Novak had a chance there. I mean, I wonder what would have happened if he went cross-court instead of went for the lob, but anyway, that was not going to be good enough. But I think Sinner is going to be covering that side. 24-shot rally. It's going to be something Sinner doesn't mind if he ends up on the winning side of those. $40-30. Sinner needs to make more first serves in against Alcaraz. This is not going to be good enough against Carlos. He needs to make more first serves if he gets to that final. It's a forehand in the net. We got to deuce. First deuce game on the Sinner serve for Novak. Backhand Yannick. Djokovic way up high. Forehand Sinner. Cross court. Forehand of Djokovic. It's a great shot. Sinner down the line. Backhand Novak. He goes for too much. He had that cross court. But it's just the Sinner from the back of your mind. He makes you want to go for a lot, especially if you're trying to pull a winner. Sinner's so good at sliding on the surface as well. It's just like Novak had that shot. It should have been break point. He goes for too much, and Novak knows it as well. Almost a mental lapse, honestly, from Novak. He had that open. Puts up anything to that side. I think he wins that point. Quite likely. Now it's advantage to Sinner. He keeps missing first serves. Percentage is getting lower and lower. Forehand goes to the backhand of Sinner. Forehand Djokovic big. Backhand of Sinner. That's a great shot down the line. Forehand Sinner. Backhand Djokovic. The pace of shot from Sinner's backhand is massive. Forehand. So forehand of Djokovic. Cross court. Ooh, it just stays in from Sinner. Forehand down the line. Goes to the backhand of Djokovic. Forehand Sinner. It's a drop shot. He's going for it again. That's a better one. Sinner redrop. Djokovic runs. Sinner runs back. What a rally. Novak's there. Sinner might get there. Whoa! One of the points of the tournament. One of the best points you'll see at Roland Garros all decade. Trust me on that. You'll be seeing that on replays. Back and forth. Novak at 38. Oh, my God. Well, Federer's gone. Rafa's gone. Murray's gone. Del Potro's gone. Ferrer's gone. One man's still there, and he's showing the tennis world what it's all about. 38 years old. Yannick Sinner doesn't know anything about that. Back and forth, back and forth. Novak getting it done. That was a crazy rally, really. That's awesome. 26-shot rally. That was unbelievable. What a redrop from Sinner initially, and Novak was there anyway. Goes behind Sinner, and then what a get. No, that's unbelievable from Novak at 38. All of those shots. And to have that stretch at the end of a 26-shot rally at the moment like that, and what a reaction from Novak as well with the crowd. Back in, Novak goes to the forehand of Sinner. Forehand Novak, another long rally. That's not going to be good for Novak. Forehand, Sinner trying to make it physical. Sinner doesn't mind. Let's make this rally as long as possible. Backhand. Forehand of Sinner. Forehand drop shot is going to be out. I think Sinner, yeah, Novak feeling it. I think Sinner is thinking, listen, even if I have a winner, I'm just going to make this rally even longer. I'm not going to, give me a lack of effort. That's fine. Sinner's thinking, listen, I have a winner. I'm going to just like moonball back in because I want this rally to go as long as possible. Take, Sinner taken from the Djokovic playbook, take the legs, then you take the soul. Backhand, forehand, put away. Great game. Clutch from Sinner. I mean, didn't win that absolute blockbuster of a point, but he gets the game 1-1. This guy really 38? I don't know. We'll be seeing points like that even when Novak is 55. How do you like that from Novak? Amazing. That's why he's the GOAT. OMG. What is this emergency stream? How are you, Anthony? I read that as how are you, Anthony? Because there was no comma. Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you, Lexi? I'm excited for this one. It's getting good now. Let's go Novak, absolutely. Sinner Novak is always fun. Sinner and Djokovic has been some of the biggest streams for this channel that I've done. Always excited for and I honestly am just excited to see how this match turns out. I was excited coming in because I was like, I could see almost any scenario here outside of Novak winning in straight sets. I couldn't see Novak winning in straights, but just about anything else I could have imagined happening. My prediction was Sinner in 4 sets. I still think Novak can take a set here. Back and down the line, forehand of Sinner. Forehand Novak goes behind Sinner. That's a good play. It's been working so far. 15 love. Wow, 3 20-plus shot rallies in the last game. That 26-shot rally, the longest of all of them. Great serve from Novak down the tee. Puts away the forehand. 30 love. I mean, we're seeing carbon copies of each other right now. One guy's 38, one guy's 23, but we're seeing carbon copies of each other. Sinner and Djokovic are just like cut from the same cloth. You can't. I mean, it's obviously they're not the same, but they're cut from the same cloth, man. Similarities are there all day. Forehand Sinner. The forehand of Djokovic. Inside out, lob. Good shot right in the baseline. Djokovic goes for the smash. Fake drop shot. Forehand down the line. It's a great play. Sinner's there. Forehand, cross score. What a play. Djokovic is finding it. Higher level now. 40 love. Definitely enjoying himself as well. Good shot. I was glad that he went for the fake drop shot. That drop shot has not been working for the most part. It's an interesting play. Stefan Djokovic likes it as well. Djokovic's son in the crowd. Hold to love is second of the set. Hasn't lost a point on serve all set yet. 2-1. Better play from Djokovic. Novak full center. Yeah, that's right, Marina. It was an amazing point. Two one for Djokovic. Hello, how are you doing, Underworld? Noyev, how are you doing? What can't this man do? He was hitting volleys like Federer versus Zverev. Yeah. I mean, Djokovic's still amazing at 38, no doubt. Yeah, Novak still has that passion, that motivation. We'll see how he keeps it going. I do want to see a replay of that 26-shot rally. That was absolutely electric. Really one of the best rallies you'll see at Roland Garros this decade. That was amazing. And that was one of those, it could be a turning point rally. I mean, Djokovic didn't win that game, but must have been fun to see the crowd that involved as well. Love 15. Ooh, nearly a good return from Novak. Missed it just behind the baseline, 15 all. Novak in his 78th major appearance. He's trying to make his 38th major final, which is unbelievable. That's almost half. At one point, he did have half. Yeah, it's ridiculous. 78 total appearances, 62 quarterfinals, 51 semifinals, 37 finals, and 24 titles. Greatest Grand Slam player of all time, greatest player of all time. Novak Djokovic is the greatest tennis player of all time. Forehand of Sinner, forehand of Djokovic down the line is too good. 30 all. It's opportunity for the GOAT to look for the break here. Big shots. Novak going, I feel like, for bigger shots on the forehand early in these rallies, which is really good for him. He's trying these different things out, but he's playing with a higher level of intensity, and he's really very decisive about everything that he's doing, and very, what's the word? He's just locked in, concentrating, like very, what's the word? Intentional is the word I'm looking for. He's very intentional about every shot that he's hitting and playing with a very high level of intensity. But he knows he needs the set. I mean, if he doesn't win the set, it's over. I mean, you think of, Rafa against Medvedev, Australian Open, unless we see something like that, yeah, it's over. Novak needs a set. I mean, even the biggest Novak fans will say Novak needs a set. Barring an injury from Sinner, which we hope does not happen, Novak needs a set. So forehand into the net, 2-2. And they do have the option of turning on live subtitles. I do not. At least I don't know how to do that. I can actually speak a little bit of Russian, but wait, what do you want to know? I can speak a little bit of Russian, but I can't do it all the time. Center serving well this set despite Novak returning as well as he is. Is this setting YouTube? I believe the channel has to make it happen. Okay. It's a setting on YouTube. So I'm what's happening is I'm live streaming it through a different app. Through StreamYard. So I don't think I can do it through here. I don't have the access to the YouTube channel. But I can ask though. Maybe I can ask Faison if I could do it, but forehand volley. Novak runs. Oh, nearly got it. Got a racket under it. 15 all. Forehand of Sinner. Forehand Djokovic missed it wide. 15-30. It's an opportunity for Yannick. Novak was playing at a higher level. He doesn't want to give away a game here, just as that was beginning to things were beginning to go well for him. All these players like Yannick that have a killer instinct. I mean, they know when it's the time to pounce and really attack. You know, they sense the weakness and they're like, this is the time. Yannick with a great backhand down the line. Novak a little bit short. Backhand. Forehand of Yannick. That's in the net. Good play from Novak. Strong. 30 all. Massive point here. Massive point. Sinner's so strong at converting break points. Djokovic has to work with the second serve, but it's a massive point for the Serbian to win here. Forehand, Yannick down the middle. Goes to the forehand of Djokovic. Forehand of Sinner. Catches the net. Goes over. Backhand Sinner. Cross court. Backhand of Djokovic. Backhand of Sinner. Down the line. Goes to the forehand of Djokovic. Forehand of Sinner. Forehand rally. Forehand of Djokovic. Goes down the line. He's been doing that. That's a good defense from Sinner. That's in the net. Fantastic from Yannick. That was a tough shot that kind of sliced low. Novak, it was a tough shot to deal with, but you have to expect it because Sinner has been just so really amazing from Yannick. Novak getting upset with the crowd, though. That might actually work in his favor. Because whenever the crowd seems to, Novak has problems with the crowd, it seems to actually turn on his motivation a little bit. But Sinner 1 for 3 on break points so far. Here's a fourth. Serve out wide, doesn't get it. Second serve for Djokovic. Some ways you might call this a must-win point. Potentially. Forehand. Cross court. Good defense from Sinner. Forehand down line. That's strong. Novak taking it to the crowd a little bit, going at the crowd, getting some energy. Novak is, getting a lot of chances to hit that forehand down the line, and he's taking all of those chances. That will help Novak to get extra, incentive here, some motivation with the crowd. Forehand, cross court goes to forehand of Yannick. Forehand, inside out, back into Yannick slice. That's in the net. Good play from Novak here. Advantage Djokovic. I still think Novak has a chance to grab the second set. I'm not counting him out at all here. Backhand. It's the forehand of Djokovic. Inside out. Backhand of center. Backhand of Djokovic. Backhand of center down the line. Forehand of Djokovic. Backhand of Yannick. Backhand of Djokovic. Cross court. Backhand rally. Backhand. Goes again. Cross court. Backhand down the line. What a redirect from Yannick. Forehand goes right back to Novak. It's not a good play from Yannick. Backhand center made it. What a shot. Yannick center, get out of here. This guy is so talented, dude. Looking like Novak at his prime, Yannick at that point, honestly. It's so crazy. It almost looks like he shovels it or something. Like, what a backhand. Yeah, Novak appreciates it. Right on the line, pinpoint precise. This guy playing like an AI. Hour and 15 minutes. Sinner still looking to break here. Novak looking to stop that. Great body serve, better return to deal with it. Forehand down the line. Yannick gets it with the backhand, forehand. Inside out, backhand. It's going to go long. Good play from Novak. Some patterns working for him well here. He is really able to redirect that forehand down the line with ease at the moment. Yannick upset with his sneakers, saying that he's slipping around, losing his balance. So he might switch them out or something. Wonder if Novak will be aware of that. Talking to his box a lot. Novak, big. Yannick there at the forehand. Novak there at the net. 3-2. I say Novak wins this set. I think Novak wins this set. We'll see what happens after that, but I've got Djokovic here. I think Novak wins the second set. It's not something you often see from Yannick, too, complaining to his box about the shoes. I don't know. I've got Novak. I'm taking Novak in the second set. I drop a bet on it. I just feel it. That rally, too, even though he lost that game at 1-0, just feels like Novak's picked up his level here from the first set. I have Novak winning the second one. We'll see. But he must know it's kind of a must-win set. Я могу посмотреть, если я могу включить какие-то subtitles, чтобы лучше, если это поможет, чтобы лучше ты понимала, чтобы ты понял. Я немножко русский говорю, но больше всего английский, но я могу посмотреть. That was me speaking a little bit of Russian. Person asking me to turn on Russian subtitles. I'll see if I can do that, but might not be possible. All right, it's left 15 here for Djokovic. Serve, center, out wide, backhand Djokovic. Forehand of center, backhand Djokovic again. Cross court, center, way out on the ad side, hitting the forehand. Forehand from center is loose, love 30. Center a little bit rattled. Now it's getting interesting. Djokovic has definitely up in not just his level, but also his intensity as well. He is really playing with a lot of intention, concentration, motivation. He's in it now. Serve, center. It's missed. Center missing a lot of first serves today. If you're a center fan, you got to be looking at even potential final against Alcaraz and knowing that that's trouble. He's going to be going out to the practice court and hitting the first serve all day until that final, even if he gets through this. Novak missing the forehand down the line, 15-30. Yannick, what are you doing exactly? Yeah, just missing too many first serves and giving Novak a chance. That was a loose forehand. The point prior to that one. Not from Novak, but from Yannick. Center serve. Out wide. Misses another first serve. I mean, his first serve percentage is about 15% or something. Not much higher than that. Forehand. It's a loose forehand from Novak, returning a second serve. 30 all. Novak, one of the best clutch players we've ever seen in the sport. On the big points, he's always shown up. Wow. Center 43 consecutive service holds against Djokovic. 61 consecutive service holds for the last period of time in general. That is crazy to think about holding your serve 43 times in a row against the greatest returner of all time. Like, that is genuinely one of the most impressive stats. Because it's one thing to do it against the tour as a whole, but against Djokovic, to hold your serve 43 consecutive times is pretty remarkable, honestly. Backhand's going to be, I mean, that's not a good game from Djokovic. After going up love 30, he had an opportunity there. It just kind of gives the game away. Don't know what Novak was doing there. Conditions starting to be a little bit heavy out there. Three games apiece. Serve is missed wide. Second serve from Djokovic. Forehand, cross court. Center steps up. Forehand rally. Forehand down the line. That's a big shot from Novak. They didn't make it. It was close. Yep. Right on the line there. Djokovic playing far more aggressive in this set. He's hit half of the winners that he's hit in the match have come in this set already. Backhand down the line. That's going to be out 15 all. By the way, I asked Faison if we can do live subtitles for the channel because I don't have access to our YouTube, but I haven't had a response yet. But I think that would be cool if we could do that. I mean, the more that we have different international people, the better. I mean, to a degree, I do speak Russian, so if only I could do it on 2 different streams at the same time, but that's not possible. Like do a Russian stream and an English stream, but that's just not how it works. This is a good backhand down the line winner from Yannick. Serve was too short, and then it allowed Yannick to just step in. Novak needs to really hit his spots with the serves, or else this is not going to be looking good for him. Backhand up high, forehand of Djokovic. Forehand cross guard is going to be out. I think Yannick has had, been rattled by his ability to kind of slide, whether it's his sneakers or something else. Feels like he's slipping out there, sliding. And I feel like Novak hitting that forehand down the line, Yannick will feel like usually he can neutralize that better because he really is very good on defense, even on his backhand. So whether it's hitting over it or slicing it, he will feel like it's just not neutralizing there or getting there as quickly as he would usually want to. That's been a good pattern for Novak. But he's been more aggressive, stepping in. Forehand down the line has been a big one. Forehand down the line is big there from Yannick. What a get from Novak. Drop shot. Novak has to travel the world and can't get there. As a smart play from center. He's got another break point. Can Novak save another one? He saved a break point earlier in this set. Can he do it again? I believe center is 1 for 4 on break points, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, just Yannick. I mean, Novak is playing well, but Yannick is Yannick. Djokovic got a racket under it, but good effort. But is this too big of an effort for him at this stage in his career? We'll see. It's a break point, kick serve, out wide, backhand, center, drop shot. That's a good one, actually. Backhand goes behind, centered overhead. We're back to neutral somehow. Forehand. Novak missed it. Good play from center. Just too strong. Just too strong. I don't like the drop shot play. It hasn't worked for him once, it feels like. Only in that crazy 26-shot rally it's worked for him. I don't remember. I really don't remember another time where it worked. So Novak needs to cut out the drop shots. I guess that was one of the strategies that was just like, okay, main thing I need to do today, find times to drop shot. Like, I guess one of the things going in was just like that kind of a mindset, but it's not working. I wonder if Novak was watching Alcaraz beating Sinner on this court last year in the semis and was like, oh, Alcaraz hitting a whole lot of drop shots. I need to try to copy that. But especially because Novak's drop shot worked so well against Zverev, it's shocking that it is just at such a lower quality today than it was a couple days ago against Sasha. But as said in the break for Yannick, it's a horrible miss, yes. Novak missed his chance in Yannick's last service game, uncharacteristic errors. Yes, I thought that was a poor game from Novak as well. I agree with you. Yeah, if Novak converted there, we could be looking at a completely different match now. But unfortunately, that's not how tennis works. You have to take your chances. Very uncharacteristic from Novak, missing a lot of returns there. I think he missed three returns that were very makeable. Not good enough for Novak, and I agree that's just uncharacteristic. Wow, Yannick is about to potentially lead Novak 5-4 in the head-to-head. That is something that I just haven't really seen done in over 15 years. Nobody's led Novak in a head-to-head in that way. I guess maybe Rafa and Roger did at some point, but for the last, like at least like 5-10 years, we just haven't seen that. So backhand from Novak is missed. I mean, he's been close to breaking Sinner, so we'll see, but he hasn't even had a break point yet. And that's been that wouldn't be a first in this head-to-head either. I mean, I think they've played 2 or 3 matches or at least like 1 or 2 matches where Novak has not had a break point. I think Australian Open, he also did not have a break point. Pretty sure that was the case. Serve Sinner. Down the tee, just missed. Again, absolutely must-win set for Novak. There's no doubt about it. Backhand goes the forehand of Sinner, forehand of Novak. Backhand of Yannick down the line, forehand Novak. Forehand Sinner goes to the backhand of Djokovic for a pass. Good attempt. Backhand. Oh, I mean, Yannick Sinner is just that guy. He's playing at an all-time great level. And Novak is potentially the greatest of all time, but he is not able to play with, 23-year-old young legs. Unfortunately for him, that makes the difference. Yannick is at the start of the journey. Novak is, the sunset might still be not there, but, he sees it in the distance, and Yannick, he can't even see it yet because he's so young. So that makes the difference. One of them is at the start of their career, and the other is maybe more towards the tail end. It's 30 love for Yannick. Novak playing well, but Yannick playing unbelievable at times. So Yannick's upped his level. Forehand cross court, forehand of Djokovic, backhand Sinner. Backhand of Djokovic, inside out. I think Yannick missed that one. 30-15. Umpire is down to check. It was out, so 30-15. That said, against Carlos, I don't think this version of Yannick wins. Yannick needs to make more first serves in, and I don't think he's been moving quite as well as he would have wanted to, particularly moving to his backhand and sliding, and he's not been maybe quite as consistent, just a little bit less consistent he would have wanted to. He needs to up his level against Alcaraz, or else Alcaraz is going to be, winning back-to-back French Opens. That's just what it is. Yannick needs to up his level against Carlos. That said, it's a good level, but Carlos is playing at a very strong level. Forehand inside out, backhand of Djokovic goes to the backhand of Sinner. Forehand Djokovic misses it wide, 40-15. By the way, thank you guys for joining in. Don't forget to subscribe, Quality Shot Tennis, for more live streams. Try to be commentating the final as well. I think this level from Novak would get more reward for Carlos. Yannick is just a horrible matchup for him. Versus Carlos, I meant. Oh, versus Carlos. Yeah, that's fair. Novak had 15-30 and love 30 and didn't execute. Not blaming him for the intent because he has to be aggressive. Definitely, but it's been working for him after making the return to be aggressive. He didn't have to go quite that wild on the returns, I felt like. He's been making deep returns and then getting into the rally and then going aggressive, and I don't know. It's hard to keep that up, though. I mean, people talk about how much defense takes out of you, but offense also. I mean, it takes out of you, not just out of your arm, but just all of the effort that it takes to do that. It's just like, people don't talk about the physicality that offense takes out of you, especially against a player this good. Like, tennis is such a brutal sport. I mean, it really might be the toughest sport that there is. And people are like, oh, it's just hitting a ball with a racket, but listen, I think if you watch this channel consistently, if you're watching tennis consistently, you know that it's not just that. So, forehand into the net, love 15. Sinner yet to face a break point, and he is looking deadly on the return. Serve, backhand of center, forehand, swing volley. Center might get there. He does. Over at Djokovic. Good shot. 15 all. Great get from center initially. Novak seeing what he's dealing with in terms of quick, speedy defense, but put away. Both guys having success at the net, by the way. Novak 8 for 10, Sinner 10 for 12. It's good stats. Backhand, goes forehand of Djokovic, backhand of Sinner down the line, misses it. 30-15, be a good must-win hold for Djokovic, and then at least try to do something in the 5-4 game. It'll be interesting to see what that game looks like. But yeah, Sinner is not a good matchup for Djokovic. I agree with this. It would be the first time that in Novak's prime post 2011, a player is able to beat Novak 4 times in a row, if we see it happen. Forehand down the line. Backhand. Slice from Sinner. Goes to the forehand. Djokovic cross-court. It's very good. 40-15. That includes Rafa and Roger, by the way. That includes anybody. Rafa did it 3 times in a row against Novak. But nobody's done it more than that. So as long as Novak plays like with Rafa, I won't bet against him, win or lose. I like it. Novak is having to hit a lot harder every ground stroke while Sinner is playing his normal level. That's true. He's forcing it. Come on, Novak, you can do this. 5-4 game is going to be absolutely crucial if Novak can get there. Forehand down the line. It's a good shot. Backhand down the line is even better from Sinner. Forehand. Novak just misses it. Inside out. 40-30. Oof. Novak gotta at least hold here and get something done. Try to get something done at 5-4. Serve down T, forehand of Sinner. The forehand of Djokovic, back into Sinner for a pass, goes out. 5-4 game is going to be very interesting to see how Novak plays there. Sinner definitely going to be very determined to get that break. Novak flexing his legs out a little bit. Amazing how good of an athlete Novak is still at this age. Novak struggling to win even one of the first sets. Yeah. Pretty sure we'll have to go to 5 for Novak to win this. I'm not convinced. Likely. Although people are saying the same thing against Alcaraz at the Australian Open, and Novak managed to win that one in 4. So I guess you never know for sure, but yeah, it's likely the case. I do want to see Sinner tested in 5 sets more though, because I still feel like that is like the only thing that Jannik is yet to prove is his consistency in the 5 sets. Because I mean, honestly, his 5-set record is not very good. I say that as somebody who had to go through a lot of Sinner heartbreak in 5 sets. His 5-set record is not that strong. In fact, I can go to Tennis Abstract and try to find his record in 5 sets. 5 sets. Yep. 5 setters. Career. So he's 6-9 in 5 sets. For a player of his caliber, that is not that strong, relatively. And he's lost 5 of his last 6, Sinner. And the one that he won, Medvedev was just completely out of gas in the final. I mean, credit to Sinner all the way, 100%. But just tell how it is, you know? In fact, that is the only time that Sinner has beaten a top 16 player in a 5-setter. So it's the one thing he's yet to prove, you know? Novak lacking his legs. Trying to make sure that they're working here for this last game potentially of the set. Trying to break. 15 love. Backhand. Djokovic goes to the backhand of Sinner. Backhand of Djokovic. Cross court. Backhand down the line. Goes to the forehand of Jannik. Forehand of Djokovic. Cross court. Sinner's there, but that's forehand down the line. Miss. I still feel like Sinner is not going to be that happy with where his level's been at compared to where he needs it to be against Carlos in the final. I feel like Carlos is watching this and being like, honestly, I can get this done. But anyway, it's 15-all. Novak needs this game 100%. Serve from Sinner. It's in the net. He's missing so many first serves, Sinner. He's missing so many first serves. Forehand of Djokovic up high. That's been working. Kind of making Sinner go off balance a little bit. Novak goes for the big forehand inside out. Djokovic still have more to prove, more to say. 15-30, one of his best shots in the match. Great shot. Sealed perfectly. 92 miles per hour strike. It's a statement from Djokovic. He's still got more to say here. Interesting moment here. Second serve to work with here. Forehand. Djokovic. Inside out. Backhand of Sinner. It's going to be long, and it's the first two break points of the match for Djokovic. His first opportunity. Double break point. Bit of a loose game for Sinner, but a great game from Novak. Here we go. First break point of the match. Sinner taking a little bit extra time. Massive moment here. Sinner, serve. I mean, can't make a first serve save his life. It's insane. Never seen anything like this. Second serve. Forehand. Down the middle. Forehand of Sinner. Goes to the forehand of Djokovic. Forehand of Sinner. Cross court. Forehand of Djokovic. Backhand of Sinner. Forehand Djokovic big. Forehand of Sinner down the line. Backhand Djokovic defending. Backhand down the line. Djokovic still defending. What a get. No way. Sinner puts it away down the line, though, beautifully. Sinner shots are just a work of art. Perfect. Djokovic feeling out the legs. At a certain point, I feel like Novak almost gave up mid-rally. I mean, I say that. I mean, he was fighting hard as hell, but yeah, it was after that last shot before Sinner hit that forehand. I feel like Novak was like, all right, well, this point might be over. Like, I might just try to put as much energy as I can into this last point here, the second break point. 97 miles per hour forehand winner. I didn't realize it was that fast. Sinner's pace is comes so easy to him. It seems like. I'm sure it doesn't, but it looks effortless. Completely. Second serve again. Backhand. Djokovic. Forehand. So that's in the net. 5-5. We got a match in our hands. Novak absolutely needed a great game from Djokovic. Sinner will be upset with the effort, or not the effort, but the game that he put up there. But Djokovic, a great game there. No doubt about it. Here we go. We're getting started. Idemo. Yep. It does. I agree. Oof, we got a match in our hands. I said I think Novak wins the second set. We'll see how that ages, but that is a great break for Novak. Converting a second break point. Novak's still looking upset with something, but That only helps him get him motivated. Serve. Djokovic goes out wide. Backhand Djokovic. Cross court. Backhand of Sinner. The backhand of Djokovic down the line. Forehand of Sinner. And Djokovic again down the line. Playing aggressive. Staying with in these rallies with Sinner. Forehand Djokovic goes big cross court, but Sinner so strong. A break is good, but Djokovic will really want to consolidate, at least force a tiebreaker. Novak has had to put up such an effort even to try to win just a set here. Novak playing aggressive, but Sinner looking more fresh at the end of these long rallies, and that might make the difference. Like the aggressiveness early on the rallies is working, but it's just the end of these rallies. Sinner looking more fresh and able to. Wow, what a shot from Novak though with the forehand down the line. He needs to end these rallies early, because Sinner at the end of these long rallies, he's able to give those athletic exertions and really just stay with the intensity that's required to play his aggressive game. Novak with 94 miles per hour. They're both exchanging bullets. That's the beauty of sport. Forcing the best out of each other, forcing you to their best and pushing you to the next level, even if you don't know you have it. Some of the fastest forehands you'll see Novak hit. Wow, there you go. Holy crap, what a shot from Djokovic with the forehand down the line. Didn't see that coming. That was quicker than the last one. This is ridiculous. 30-15. I don't know if I've ever seen Djokovic hit this forehand as big as he is currently. Not as big as the last one, but 88 miles per hour. Just so unexpected. Forehand down the line's been working all day for Novak. 30-15. Sinner remembers who he's playing against. Forehand's going to go long, and that's the fear factor of Novak. And that's what Carlos Alcaraz saw at the Olympics last year. Novak suddenly playing out of his prime when you don't expect it. 40-15. What a pulverizing forehand, yes. All right, we got over 50 people watching. Let's keep it growing. Thank you guys for joining in. Let's keep stream going. We got a match in our hands here at this point. Thank goodness. Levels only improved. That's going to be too good. Novak doesn't even run for that because he's going to be putting this energy into the 40-30 point. He doesn't want to waste it. The level is ridiculous right now, by the way. Novak applauds that one. Such difficult shots made to look easy here. Djokovic got a game point to make it 6-5. Got backhand drop shot. Novak goes wide. Deuce. Now a close game here. It's so hard to put away a game against Jannik. He will fight hard every set, every game, every point. That's what these guys do. I mean, it's like Novak has to play a younger version of himself, but a version of himself that can hit harder. That's not particularly fun for a 38-year-old. Backhand, chance for Novak, put this one away. Jannik defending. Yeah, it's too tough. Good defense from Jannik, especially on the return of serve. Jannik hitting with such good depth, even from such tough return positions, and that is Novak Djokovic defined. Jannik wins, 3 points in a row, is now at break point when he was down 40-15 earlier now. He was down 40-15 now at break point. And he's got advantage. Break point for the Italian. Novak's been pretty good at saving break points for the most part. Serve down the tee. Sinner's forehand just crossed the net. Backhand. Djokovic. Cross court. Backhand down the line is very good. Novak's there at the forehand. What a shot. Backhand. Cross court. That's in the net. Novak is doing so well now in, let's say, rallies that are about, 7, 8 shots and less. Novak Sinner is doing really well in winning the longer rallies. So as much as he can, Novak needs to try to win these points early. What's been amazing is he's been so successful at doing exactly that and crushing the forehands and just being able to end the points early, and the level that he's been able to do that at, pulverizing fantastic forehands. So, and just shots in general. So, and hitting with great depth. That's been amazing. It's deuce. What a hold this would be for Djokovic. Oh, it was close. The serve out wide, but did look just out. Second serve to work with for Sinner. Hey, how are you doing, Max? Good to see you. Here we go. Second serve. Backhand. Sinner. Return. Backhand of Djokovic is going to go long. Good return. Right on top of that return, Jannik. Advantage to Jannik Sinner. And yeah, too much to handle for Novak, who just needs to hit such a high quality every single shot, even to hold up with this intensity from Jannik. He truly is one of the greatest athletes in the world, Jannik Sinner. One of the most dominant, just one of the best. Amazing. Advantage to Jannik. Serve. Down the tee, forehand. Djokovic goes to the forehand of Sinner. Cross court, forehand. Sinner has an open court. Djokovic defending with a lob. Sinner, swing volley, open court from 40-15 down. 6-5. Difficult there for the Novak fans to grapple with that one. Novak gave himself a chance, but another break needed if Novak wants to stay in the set. Hope Musetti can recover quickly. It's nice that I reached another semifinal in the Grand Slam. Yeah. Now clay court and grass court. Just looking for a hard court slam semifinal. He'll completed the set. There are not that many players that have done that, by the way. And I believe that Musetti at some point will make a semifinal Grand Slam on hard courts, maybe sometime soon, even though I think on the natural surfaces, maybe a little bit better. But there are not that many players that have done that, reached a semifinal at a hard court, grass court, and clay court slam. Not many at all. Surface versatility is an absolute amazing skill in this sport. Which the score was synced. Yeah, I mean, I'm watching on, TNT Max. That's where they're showing in the States. So I'm watching live, but Sinner just doesn't miss. No free points. Yeah. He's so tough. I mean, it's what I said. It's like playing Novak from 2014 or whatever, but it's a Novak that can hit harder. And looking at the stats before this important game, I mean, Sinner now 51% first serves in, but still not very high, but this is crucial. It's lower than it was in the first set, but 68% second serve points is going to be good enough. Yeah, just too many unforced errors from Novak, but honestly, he needs to play that style. It's what's been working. Go for it. Yeah, Sinner needs to make more first serves against Carlos. Already said it, but it's just not going to cut it. Novak goes for a big forehand return and misses it. Fair attempt, though. Good attempt. Off the return, just misses it long. That's an amazing stat. Apparently, Sinner went 40 straight games without even facing a break point against Djokovic. I wonder if that's the record. I bet it is. That's a crazy stat. Gotta be close to it. I wonder what Federer's most was. Backhand cross court goes to the backhand of Sinner. Backhand down the line, forehand Sinner. That's in the net. 15-all. Definitely much, 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 much better play from Novak in this set than the first set, but just shows what a high level Sinner is playing at. 15 all. Novak's still fighting. I mean, credit to him. Also shows, by the way, this set just shows how strong of a level Djokovic can still play at, and, you know, giving trouble to the world's top players, you know, beating Zverev at Roland Garros, but especially beating Alcaraz at the Australian Open, and now, you know, a good level against Sinner here. I mean, you know, 2 semifinals, Grand Slam back-to-back. Serve from Sinner. Down the tee, backhand. Djokovic. That backhand gets away from him. Looking at the court as if it was a bad bounce, but just kind of got away from him there. It did seem like a little bit of a weird bounce. (30-15). How much fight does Novak have in him? Sinner looking for his 28th consecutive set one at a major. If he's able to win 3 in a row today against Novak, then he will tie Novak in the most that Novak ever won in a row at a major. That's an amazing return. The greatest returner of all time, with one of his best returns today with a forehand inside out. How much fight does he still have in this set? This is a huge point. Looking for another break point. Sinner will be looking for a first serve. He's barely found them today. Apparently he's made over half, but certainly doesn't feel like it. First serve misses, wide and in the net for Sinner. Second serve. Second serve, ace for Jannik to pull up the set point. That is too good. I don't know if he meant for it to be that good. He hasn't hit an ace in a minute. He gets it on a second serve. Oh, just too good. Novak knows it right away. I don't think he meant it to cut it that close, but anyway, great second serve there. Just when I thought it was going to get close again, set point for Sinner and a must-win point for Djokovic, 100%. Serve, Jannik. Out wide, backhand. Djokovic, cross-court, backhand, Sinner. It's going to be long. 1 set point saved. Djokovic still trying to pull this to a tiebreaker. You never know. Last Grand Slam meeting, Novak saves the set point in the set that he wins. In the third set at the Australian Open, it was a match point. Can you do it again here? 2 points away either from a tiebreaker or from the set. Sinner, serve. Yep. Perfect serve. Ace out wide. 2 aces in a row on the deuce side. His 5th ace of the match. Hour and 57 minutes played in what's been a remarkably high-level second set. Advantage to Sinner. Some of the best level a 38-year-old has ever played any sport. Forehand's going to be long. 6-4, 7-5 for Jannik Sinner. 2 sets to love for Sinner. Two sets to love. It feels like the match is over. Honestly, I'm not gonna say it much different than that, because Novak is gonna have to put in a hell of an effort, but we'll see how Sinner tries to close him out. I'm scared actually, because Donnarumma is one heck of a goalkeeper. We're up 1-0. Only positive I can take is that Novak's level is still high, and provides someone can beat Sinner, then he can win majors. Really need Carlos and Jannik on same side of the draw. That's true. It'll be interesting at Wimbledon. Potentially less physical of a surface a lot of the time. Annoying thing for Novak is that Sinner has not played his best today, and yeah, he's about to go 2-0 comfortably. Yeah, I mean, comfortably to an extent. The second set was pretty close, but I would agree with you. Sinner's holding his own against Novak without a first serve, and then the serve put him over the edge. Yep. No, you're good. I was confused at first. I was like, wait, what? I was like, tennis doesn't have a goalkeeper. Am I the crazy one? Like, wait, tennis has a goalkeeper? What is going on? Yeah. All right, I'm going to head off for a minute. I'll be back for the third set, guys. All right, starting off this third set. Back in center. It's the backhand Djokovic inside out. Forehand squash shot center. Forehand volley, too good. Well, we've got a 7.5-year streak for Djokovic on the line today, which I was mentioning earlier. But the last time Djokovic lost a straight sets match in a completed Grand Slam match before the final of a tournament was against Hyun Chung 2018 Australian Open. That has just not happened, which is amazing. At 38 years old, you would have imagined at some point he'd, lose straight sets to somebody, as age. It's just a thing that happens with age. But, I mean, even Sinner is the greatest player in the world. Is number one. So it's kind of amazing that hasn't happened. Almost happened at the Australian Open last time that they played in a major, but it didn't quite happen. Smash. Novak is there with the return. Forehand slice. Forehand slice again. Just crosses the net. Good play from Novak. Goes for a forehand down the line. Yeah, Jannik is it's just crazy. Like I saw a tweet the other day. It's just like Jannik just destroys people in a joyless massacre, and that's really what it feels like sometimes. Just like machine-like on the court. It's incredible to watch. I mean, some people hate it, you know, and I get why. They're like, it's robotic, it's dominant. We want to see exciting, whatever. But it's like, I'm witnessing greatness. I also like center style of play, so I'm a bit lucky. Backhand down the line, forehand. Djokovic goes to the forehand of center. That's in the net. 30-15. Can Novak at least win a set here, like he did in Australia? Novak has barely lost in straight sets in a Grand Slam, period. It just hasn't happened very often. In fact, I'll find all the times that it's happened and talk about it on the next changeover. Backhand. Novak completely misses that one. I mean, one guy who's not going to give up, I think, is Djokovic, but this is looking pretty dire at this point. Serve out wide, backhand center. Goes to the forehand of Djokovic, forehand of center. Forehand of Djokovic on the line, backhand of center. It's going to go out, 1-0. All right, so I'm finding all of his lost straight sets. So there might be more that were best of 5 in, let's say, like Davis Cup or in Masters level. So I'll look at that too. But in Grand Slams, he lost in straight sets on 23 occasions, Djokovic. But since 2011, Novak has lost in straight sets at a major. And this includes like the default, which happened at 6-5 in the first set. This includes retirement against Wawrinka, but he's lost in straight sets on 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 occasions. This would be the 11th occasion since 2011 where he lost in straight sets. That also includes the retirement against Zverev in the semis to Australian Open earlier this year. But just talking about the completed matches, Alcaraz beat Djokovic in the Wimbledon final last year. Medvedev beat Djokovic in the final of the U.S. Open. That was the second to last completed match where it's happened. Not just finals, but matches. Medvedev beats Djokovic in straight sets. Rafa beats Djokovic in straight sets. Roland Garros final 2020. The time before that was Chung beating Djokovic in the Australian Open 2018. Before that, Team beat Djokovic, Roland Garros quarterfinals, 7-6, 6-3, 6-0. You want a reminder of how amazing Team was on clay and just in general. And then, to be honest, and then Murray in the final of Wimbledon was the time before that. And before that, it was Wimbledon. Berdych beat Djokovic in 2010. So it's very rare is the point that I'm making. Between 2013 Wimbledon, 2017 French Open didn't happen once. And then it's barely happened. I mean, Medvedev beating Djokovic, final of U.S. Open. Alcaraz beating Djokovic, final of Wimbledon. But in a completed match, it just really doesn't happen. Like, once again, just to be clear, it's only happened once since Medvedev beat Djokovic in straight sets in the final of the U.S. Open. That was the Alcaraz Wimbledon final last year. What happened to Musetti? Is he injured? Well, it was kind of, to a lot of people, it seemed like came kind of out of nowhere. Carlos just seemed to be really outplaying him. But then, yeah, Musetti pulled the cord. So I guess we'll find out really the extent of that injury. But 40-15 for Yannick. Trying to get to one game apiece here. And Sinner will also remember what happened at the Australian Open and try to finish it in 3 sets. Especially because he's got Alcaraz in the final. He wants to be as fresh as possible. Maybe Novak, that's his motivation, just to at least win a set here and make it harder for Carlos to win a slam. You know? That's got to be the motivation for Novak. He's got to be thinking that in the future, at some point, Carlos will be at 24 slams, trying to go for his 25th. And maybe if, I don't know, that's, or maybe Sinner, let's say it this way, maybe Sinner is going to be looking for 24 slams. And then if he can tire Yannick out here, maybe that's the difference of Yannick not being able to beat Carlos in the final. And that's got to be his motivation. To keep his slam record. Maybe if Yannick doesn't beat Carlos in the final, he doesn't get to 24, 25 majors. Because he doesn't win this one. That's got to be the motivation. But yeah, it's gonna be hard. I mean, when it feels almost impossible for you to win the match, I'm sure the motivation's got to be difficult. But Novak won't stop fighting. You never know in this sport. Good serve from Novak. Gets the 30 love. "28 consecutive sets for this young man. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous stat. 40 love for Djokovic. 40-15. Sinner, one of the best players I've ever seen at finding his way back in games. Even from down 40 love, 40-15. This guy, even before he became, prime Yannick Sinner, he was very good at that. He would find his way back in games, and that's just a really impressive trait to have. Because, in the back of your mind, every single shot you hit, you're got to be thinking like, man, this is going to be really difficult to come back here. But Sinner just never gives up, even against Djokovic serving at such high quality. He's come back before. Backhand put away, though, from Djokovic off the volley. Backhand volley put away, 2-1. Where to watch this match free on mobile. If you're on in the States, well, for free, I don't know. Yeah, for free, I don't know. I don't know if you'll be able to find it for free, but in the States, you can watch it on Max, but it's not free. You can maybe share an account with somebody and ask for their password. That'd be the best case scenario. We're currently sitting at 19 likes on the stream. Let's try to get to 25 by the end of the stream. Would be great. Don't forget to like if you haven't already. Would help out the channel. Sinner currently serving, still on serve in this third set. I mean, Novak's looking pretty fit out there. I mean, I don't know. I mean, let's just say like he wins 2 sets, suddenly, I mean, Sinner is going to be scared out of his mind, you know? Just imagining Novak winning 2 sets, but I mean, it's such a tough task to even win 1 set against Jannik. That's just going to be difficult. Serve kicked, backhand of Djokovic goes to the backhand of Jannik. Backhand of Djokovic down the line, forehand of Sinner. It's going to be out. Sinner very close to leading head-to-head against Djokovic. That's just something that has not really happened. Just period. People don't lead the head-to-head against Djokovic, but man, this guy, you can't say he hasn't earned it. I mean, you just can't say that. I mean, Davis Cup, ATP Finals, third set tiebreaker, Davis Cup saving match points, Australian Open, ends in absolute amazing winning streak against Novak, where Novak won so many Australian Opens back to back. Can't say Sinner has not earned it. Potentially a second straight sets win in a row against Novak, playing at such a high level, beating him at his own game in a lot of ways. Can't say this guy hasn't earned it. 30-15 Sinner. Long match, 2 hours and 15 minutes. Backhand Sinner goes cross court. Backhand slides. A great shot from Novak. Forehand goes cross court. Sinner's there at the volley. Backhand. Oh, what a shot from Djokovic. 30 all. Djokovic still fighting. What a point from him. Still shows Novak can play at a very high level, which is a great sign for him. Couple great shots where he managed to get it so low. Novak just so decisive with every ball he's going to hit. First serves a let. Never count out this guy, right? That's the whole thing. You never count this guy out. Serve out wide, though, from Sinner is deadly. 40-30. Eighth ace of Sinner. They're coming in a flock now, these aces for Sinner. Serve is in the net. Second serve, trying to get out of a game that could turn out to be complicated for Sinner. So important he gets out of it now. Backhand up high. Backhand Sinner. Backhand Djokovic. Cross court. Just catches the line. It's close. Backhand gets the tape for Sinner. Gets the net. Backhand. It's going to be a volley. Put away. Almost got war flashbacks to Novak running into the net against Rafa at the 2013 French Open. Novak got so close to the net there at the end, but managed to avoid the net and put away a volley. Deuce. I mean, this guy's the ultimate fighter of the sport. He's not going to give up. I mean, he looks fit. He doesn't look tired. So, I mean, that's a good thing. That's a good sign. I mean, I'm sure he's not giving away anything of putting on a poker face, not giving away anything of how he's feeling. But yeah, good stuff from him. Forehand. Center. Forehand of Djokovic goes big. Backhand. Forehand. The points Djokovic wants to play. Drop shot. Center runs. Forehand put away. He gets a break point. Another one. Advantage Djokovic fighting hard. Djokovic very rarely loses in straight sets, especially at majors, where you have an extra chance to win a set, you know? At least make Sinner think a little bit. This would be a huge break for Djokovic. Yeah, chalk flew up. Good serve for Sinner. Going right off the chalk. That's going to make a weird bounce. As, Novak mishits the return. Too good. Two good serves for Sinner. Gets to advantage. Game's still going, though. Novak still with the chance to come back here. Momentum for Sinner, but misses the first serve for the umpteenth, thousandth time in this match. Can't get a first serve. It's not going to be good enough against Alcaraz. Forehand missed into the net. 2-2. 4 games away from leading head-to-head against Djokovic and making a first Roland Garros final. He's made the final of Australian Open, won that. He's made the final of US Open, won that. He's looking to make the final of Roland Garros. Actually, Sinner and Alcaraz have both never lost a Grand Slam final. So one of those streaks is about to end because they're about to play each other. Forehand. Late call on the Djokovic serve, very late. Second serve, Djokovic, forehand of Sinner. Cross court, forehand of Djokovic down the line, backhand Sinner. Cross court, backhand Djokovic, cross court, going back into backhand. Backhand into the net. I feel like Sinner might break here. Sinner might break here, and if he does, that might be game over, but we'll see. Sinner playing at a very high level. No doubt. Back in return, just misses 15-all. Novak would like some first serves here. Novak, the ultimate fighter. Did we forget about Rafa already? I mean, they're both the ultimate. I mean, Novak and Rafa are the ultimate fighters. Rafa, I'll never say is not the prime example, right? Because of how he fought in every situation throughout his career, whether it was injuries or whether it was inside the matches, from what seemed like impossible situations. But to me, they're both. I mean, I'm not saying Novak. By saying Novak's the ultimate fighter, I would say the same thing about Rafa. Like, they're both just fighters like we've never seen in the sport before. But I mean, Novak is clutch, man. He and he never gives an inch. Never gives up. Never gives an inch. But that, I mean, he's just Rafa's. I mean, he's number one of the players that I would just never count out. Period. And I don't think anybody will ever beat Rafa in that. Nobody will ever beat Rafa in that particular circumstance. But there are a few guys that I would just like never count out. Novak. I would even put Roger there, but particularly Novak or Rafa. Alcaraz is there now. I mean, that guy is always fighting. Even like Gael Monfils, like I never count that guy out. Like he's not one of the greatest, but players, but that guy's a fighter. But yeah, Rafa's the number one for guys I would just never count out. 30-40. Jimmy Connor's an ultimate fighter too, yeah. But I mean Novak, yeah, I mean Novak and Rafa, when I say I would call both them the ultimate fighter, I'm not taking one over the other. It'd be a bit silly. Break point. Serve. Novak. It's a good serve. Sinner shanks the return. Surprised Sinner took a full swing on that. Could have maybe chipped it back and had a better chance, but goes for the big return. Too good of a serve, though. Deuce. I still think Novak can make this third set complicated here, but you'd better go ahead and hold, or else I really think if Sinner breaks here, it's just about game over, and he's going to get another break point. Advantage to Sinner. Advantage to Sinners. But a performance that's been just good enough. I mean, obviously playing wonderful, but for his standards, I don't think great catch by the ball kid, by the way, just then, but off a huge Novak serve. I don't think Sinner will feel like he's playing his A plus game, particularly on the serve, but it's doing just enough. It's a break point. Backhand. Sinner. Forehand. Defending. Sinner. Way behind the baseline. Lob from Sinner. Overhead. Sinner. Almost getting back to neutral here. Forehand. It's too good. Sinner has got to be breathing heavy. I got nervous when I saw that overhead because Sinner put up a tough lob, but serve Djokovic out wide. Forehand, cross court, forehand of Sinner. Gets away from him. Advantage Djokovic. Like I said, I still think this third set can get complicated. Serve Djokovic. Chance. Swing volley put away. 3-2. Good fight from Novak. Yelena looking quite proud on the side. Her man giving the effort. Novak's not going to stop giving his all. It's 3-2. So Djokovic has lost in straight sets, 3 straight sets and 5 setters 23 times in his career. But I am curious. Okay, so that's not accurate. At Grand Slam level, if we look at Davis Cup, he lost to Federer in 3 straight sets. I remember that match. 2006. He lost to Nadal in straight sets, Davis Cup 2009. He lost to David Ferrer, underrated player on clay, 2009 Davis Cup. And then he lost to Del Potro. He had to retire, but he lost to Del Potro 2011 straight sets. So that's 27 3-setters. Then I'll just look at Masters level. But I don't know. I don't think he played too many 5-setters at Masters level. Yeah. So it seems like this would be the 28th time that Djokovic would have lost in 3 straight sets in best of 5, which for how many best of 5 matches he's played is not a lot. But in recent years, that number goes way down, especially if you only do completed matches. Like I said, it's only one time since Medvedev beat him in straight sets in the final of the U.S. Open it's happened. Forehand center down the line. 3-3. Longest match that center's played of the tournament. 2.5 hours now on the clock. Center 3 games away from the win. I mean, I'm almost wondering when's the last time an active player led a head-to-head against Djokovic. I want to look at Federer and Nadal's head-to-head against Djokovic because I know that at some point they did lead the head-to-head, but I don't know when's the last time they did. I think Nadal maybe like beginning of 2016 he led the head-to-head. I don't think he has since then. Wikipedia has a really, I mean, don't always trust Wikipedia, but they have a good like record of all of their matches in the head-to-head, so that's going to be a good place to look. Oh, what a lob, and then what a lob back. What a shot from Djokovic, another lob, 3 in a row. That's unbelievable. That's an unbelievable shot from Djokovic. That was one of the crazy. That's creative. That was like a Federer shot. Just being creative on the court. It's a weird, interesting shot for center to lob. It was a great lob, and then Novak right back at you. That's an amazing shot. Only shot I remember that was even similar to that is Federer hitting a backhand smash lob against Usually about 2 decades ago. I was like that, but off the forehand. Novak is playing at a strong level. I mean, if Novak plays at this level and stays fit throughout the entirety of a Grand Slam tournament, yeah, I mean, as long as he doesn't have to play Sinner and Alcaraz and somebody else beats them first, he's got a shot. I mean, particularly I'm interested at Wimbledon. Like, who can beat Sinner and Alcaraz on grass, though? It's tough because they are both such elite. In my opinion, it's gonna be clear that they're both elite grass court players. Who can beat them? I mean, Medvedev beat Sinner on grass last year, so he's certainly in that conversation. But I don't know about this year that happening. Sinner misses the return, I believe. Seems like Sinner is convinced as well that he hit that out. 40 love. Yeah, I mean, who can beat these guys at Wimbledon? It's hard to know. I mean, Tommy Paul pushed Alcaraz to 4 sets, 4th-set tiebreaker, I think, last year at Wimbledon. Tiafoe got pretty close to beating Alcaraz. Very close, actually. 4th set, he was like 2 points away from breaking and serving for the match. Unusual miss from Sinner, forehand into the net. It's 4-3 for Djokovic. Could make this complicated still. Every set's been close. And like I said, this is definitely the longest match Sinner's played in the tournament. Yet to drop a set. Djokovic will be looking to break in this next game. Novak, yep. Ну что, брейк будет или нет? Я думаю, что, наверное, нет, но Новак очень сильно сейчас играет, значит, ты никогда не знаешь. Он сделал больше шансов, чем в начале матча в последнем сете. В втором сете он достал намного больше шансов, значит, может, он хоть достанет шанс, чтобы сделать брейк. That was me speaking Russian. Back to English, but thank you for joining in, Alexei. Sinner wins here. I'm worried about Alki. Yeah, but I think, listen, I don't know. I feel like this level is only like B level for Sinner, and that's scary because he's playing well, but it might even be like C plus. Like Sinner is like, especially at the start of the match, not making a whole lot of first serves in. Like, obviously playing really well, but for his standards, like this isn't necessarily the best we've seen him play. Like this isn't necessarily how, you know, it's always hard to compare like Lehechka to Djokovic, but just in terms of his level and how he looked and coming away from the match, it just seemed like the level against like Lehechka was stronger, for example. Like, I just feel like it's a bit of a silly thing to say because when you're playing against Djokovic, of course, your level has to kind of go down a little bit. I mean, you're going to struggle a little bit more against Novak, but my point is that this isn't the strongest that Sinner can play, so he'll need to up his level big time against Alcaraz. This level of Jannik is not going to cut it. I'm confident enough to say just straight up like that. If he plays like this, he's not going to beat Alcaraz. He needs to up his level. Forehand of Djokovic goes to the forehand of Sinner. That's a better shot from Sinner. Winner right away. 15 love. Serve here from Jannik. Forehand, Sinner goes to the forehand of Djokovic. Goes long. Reminder that Sinner and Alcaraz have both never lost in Grand Slam finals. That one of those streaks is going to end. But, I mean, the streak of never losing unless against each other, that streak's going to keep going no matter what. Forehand Djokovic, that's going to go out. 40 love. Two hours and 38 minutes. If this is a straight sets match, it's a long one, I'm telling you. Backhand down the line. Too good from Djokovic. Kind of reminds me of Federer losing to Djokovic himself. 2011 Australian Open semifinal in like 3 hours and 10 minutes. Very long set, every set. But Djokovic was too strong. It was like Federer, who was just like dominating the tour, and it's like almost like a changing of the guard kind of a moment in a way. I mean, obviously, it's not really a changing of the guard because it's Federer versus Djokovic, and Federer would still win like what 4 slams after that. But it was like not a changing of the guard, but like a moment where it's like Djokovic is like, I'm here with you. Like I'm at the same level. So it's not the exact same thing, but it kind of reminds me of that. Forehand, long rally. Sinner makes the forehand 4-4. Sinner taking his legs right before this service game where Djokovic really needs to get up on these serves and use his leg strength, and it's going to be tough after a rally like that. That was not just long, it was physical. 7 forehand winners in this set to 0 from Djokovic. That is a very different stat from what we saw in the second set. Djokovic was hitting forehand winners all over the place, but good for Djokovic, still 4-4, but that's something Novak's going to want to change. Guys, don't forget to subscribe, Quality Shot Tennis. I'll have a new Tennis Era podcast coming out talking about the final, and I'll also hopefully be live streaming the final. And we do live streams. We'll be doing stuff for Wimbledon, so we'll be at Wimbledon giving interviews to players, and so definitely don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell as well. I mean, you get notified for live streams, but for the video content too, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming. So you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. Serve here from Djokovic coming at 15 love. Forehand, center, that's in the net, 30 love. Some one-sided service games, and Novak getting closer to just being a game away from taking this third set, potentially. We'll see, just making center think a little bit. First serve is in the net from Novak. Second serve coming here from Djokovic. Second serve here. We'll see how Sinner returns with the backhand. It's down the line to the backhand of Djokovic. Backhand goes to the forehand of Djokovic. Backhand now Sinner to the backhand of Djokovic. Down the line. Misses it. 30-15. Do you speak Russian at home? A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I kind of changed from Russian to English. I usually speak Russian with my mom, who is from Russia. Saw your videos, the Challenger interviews. What did you think of them? That was a lot of fun. That was fun. Being able to watch the matches in person and then talk to the players is just it's just so fun. It's I love picking their brains. I don't think we have enough of that with tennis media these days. We don't have enough of people really asking good questions to players and getting inside their brain. So I liked doing that. Backhand down the middle. It's a shot Sinner should make, and he needs to make that against Alcaraz. 40-15. I mean, to me, it's like a B performance from Sinner at best. I don't think it's his absolute best. But he's still leading the greatest of all time by 2 sets, so maybe I should be a little bit more appreciative of what I'm watching. But Djokovic, to get to 5-4, he's got 2 game points. Serve down T. Lob way up high from Djokovic. Sinner out of position. Forehand down the line from Djokovic. Backhand Sinner. Forehand, cross court. Forehand of Sinner. Even better shot, cross court. Novak, what a stretch. What a shot from Sinner. Novak has to applaud that. That is That is beautiful. That's right out of not just Novak's prime. That's the best of Novak's prime was that center shot. That's some of the best shots Novak has ever hit of back in his prime. I mean, not like the best shot he's ever hit, but like in his best matches, those are his best shots. You know what I mean? Just like standard, like incredible backhand stretch put away winners. Great effort from center there. He's just playing at such a high quality of play. Like I said, I don't think overall his performance today has been at the highest level, but it's all just like relative. Sinner is a very, very strong player. So it's all relative to his standards, also relative to where Alcaraz is at. I'm just thinking about the final, how well Sinner needs to play really well. It's 4-5. Djokovic is 1 game away from the set. At worst, it will be, like 6-4, 7-5, 7-5. It's a very close match. It was cool, very casual. They're more relaxed. Yeah, I want to give the respect to the players, just have a casual conversation. So I'm glad to hear that. I was glad that I could, create a relaxed atmosphere for the players because that's important for me too. The most important thing above anything is that, I would say. But yeah, it's cool. It's like the level is so high. I mean, first of all, the final was incredible. Little Rock. I mean, I talk about it with Patrick Gibson after he won the final, but it's like, I don't know. I find tennis interviews so much more interesting than even basketball or like team sports because it's like tennis is such an individual game and the mental game is so important. It's really interesting, and a lot of different players go differently about their mental game. Different ways to go about it. So it's like really interesting to see what they were thinking or where they're at. It's like, it's really interesting. Like talking to Patrick Gibson, who won that Challenger tournament, and who's been as high as like 100 in the world. Just hearing him speak about having 3 match points on his serve in the final, and then losing them to one of the best up-and-coming players, Michael Zhang, who is somebody that you're going to hear a lot more of. It was a fantastic final, and the crowd atmosphere is really good. 7-5 in the third set. Like, the level was so high. If you watched that third set, it could have been the level of a match in a ATP 500, 250. You wouldn't have known any better. So I was very happy to be there for that, especially knowing how important the moment is for both players. Because above anything, those matches and challengers just mean a lot to all of the players, and they are playing at a really impressive level. They're giving in so much for the sport that it's really interesting to talk to them. Love 15 here for Sinner. It's a chance here for Djokovic. 3 points away from the set. Forehand, Sinner. It's cross court. Forehand of Djokovic. Forehand, Sinner. Kind of cross court. Djokovic with a chance in this rally. Forehand, that's a miss. Love 30. Djokovic 2 points away from the set. He's one of these guys, man. He rarely loses in straight sets, whether it's best 2 out of 3, but especially 3 out of 5. Deja vu to Australian Open. And he deserves a set, man. I mean, honestly, he deserves a set. It feels like he deserves a set to me. The way he played in that second set, the way he's kept fighting in this third set, to me, it feels like he deserves a set. Especially because I don't think his level has been that much lower than Yannick's. It's been lower, but it's not been like, this doesn't feel that much like it has to be a 3-set match to me. Especially with this effort now. Love 30. See if Djokovic can close it out. Sinner with a good first serve. That's a good return. Forehand goes behind Djokovic. Djokovic trying to switch directions, but just so hard to change directions on the dirt. He's not able to do so. 15-30 for the Italian, still trying to find his way out of trouble. Djokovic still with some chances. By the way, Sinner has that disguise so well. It's very uncertain which way he's going to go. On the serve, one of the most unpredictable serves I've seen in a long time. Can say same thing about Novak's serve, but from Sinner. And also Sinner, unsure if you're going to go down the line or if he's going to go cross court. In that case, he hit cross court. Big moment. Second serve. Hits into the backhand of Djokovic. Cross court. Backhand of Sinner. Forehand of Djokovic. Needs to play aggressive. Forehand. Djokovic in control. Sinner defending. Cross court. What a shot from Sinner. Forehand down the line. Backhand. Sinner cross court. Backhand Djokovic. Forehand of Sinner. Inside out. Backhand Djokovic down the line. No way. This man is eternal. He's timeless. 1540 two-set points from the GOAT. The greatest to ever pick up a racket. Gets the two-set points. He hasn't stopped fighting. What a shot in the middle of that rally from Yannick. Novak managed to stay in control beautifully with two goated shots. Unbelievable at 38 years old. Against the world number one. Two-set points. Showing why he's still playing. For all the doubters, yeah, he didn't play that well this clay season, but Novak didn't even play the ATP finals last year. He cares about the Grand Slams. He shows up for the Grand Slams, unapologetic, and here we are, two-set points. These stupid guys screaming in the crowd. Disrupting Sinner serve. First serve to come here. Two-set points. First serve is way out. Backhand. Forehand of Sinner. Backhand. Lob. Sinner. Swing volley the other way. Solid. See, Zverev would have hit it down the line right back to Djokovic because he has no brain. Sinner put it away. Zverev would have just hit it right back to Novak because he doesn't know what a killer instinct is. 30-40. One more set point for Djokovic. He's got to take his chances here because Sinner is going to take his. Two set points doesn't mean the set is over. Think about Sinner. Djokovic straight setting Sinner at Wimbledon a couple years ago. Sinner at set points the third. Big serve from Sinner. That's clutch. Sinner has been the most clutch player I've seen play against Novak outside of Rafa. He has been so clutch in this head-to-head. It's been amazing. And that's why he's potentially going to lead the head-to-head after today. If he can put this match to bed. It's been a long, 2 hours, 50 minutes already? 2 hours, 55 minutes, whatever it is. Deuce. Serve. Down the tee, misses it. Again, guys, don't forget to subscribe, Quality Shot Tennis. And check out the new Tennis Era podcast that comes out weekly on Mondays. And we're going to be at Wimbledon, so check out those interviews when they come as well. Forehand, down the line, Sinner. Backhand, Djokovic. Backhand, Djokovic, so good. Backhand, misses. Novak is playing at a ridiculously high level. Like, this is ridiculous. The level is so strong. Advantage to Djokovic. Djokovic plays with such passion. Wow, last completed match, straight sets loss in a major semifinal was 2010 Wimbledon. That's a crazy stat. It's a very specific, that's an ESPN stat. It's very specific. But a real stat, which is what I've said before, the last time he lost in straight sets in a completed Grand Slam match before the final, really 2018 Australian Open. So it's been a while. Forehand, Novak goes for it, misses down the line. It's not a bad attempt. It's not a bad attempt, but could have potentially hit one more shot and then went for it. But he just knows that if he does that, Sinner can quickly take control of the rally if forehand got away from him. Just watching his wife, Yelena, freak out in the stands, but it's tough. I mean, this guy's he's trying to get to his 38th final. This guy, it's comical how long this guy's been around in these stages, fighting for these moments. It's hard for him to do it one more time, but he's trying. So this point would be crucial for Novak at one more chance. Ooh, it's close on the sideline. I think it was in. It's close. Novak is convinced it was in. Wow, the umpire seems convinced. Hawkeye says that it was out. It was very close. Sinner's looking at the call, at the line. Djokovic accepts it. I think Sinner said something to Djokovic like I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of unusual for the opponent to tell the opponent that it was how far. I was just watching that play out there, but it's kind of unusual to see the opponent tell the opponent how much out it is. But I guess that shows just how much Djokovic kind of. That's going to give some fire to Djokovic. Looking at him at this point, big forehands, smash, put away. That motivates Novak. You see that with the greats, Michael Jordan, Novak, all the greats, Wayne Gretzky, whoever you want to say. I mean, a lot of these guys, they get motivated by stuff like that. You must believe that it's in. I don't know if he'll take Sinner at his word, or at least his opinion of it. But the Hawkeye did say it was out, but Hawkeye can be wrong too. Has a margin of error. And you don't often trust your opponent to tell you just how far out it is, but deuce number 3 here. Long game. Forehand return is good. Forehand the other way. Djokovic runs. He can't quite get there. Amazingly fast at 38 to even look like he had a chance there, but Sinner advantage here. Can they play as wild cards qualities too? What do you mean? A lot of the players that I interview at Little Rock, they might be at Wimbledon, for example. They some of them might be at qualifying. I don't know if that's what you mean. Serve, Sinner, kick, serve, backhand. Can be out 5-5. Good fight from Yannick. 2 hours and 56 minutes of play. Three set points saved. Clutch from the world number 1. You expect it at this point. How long has Sinner been number 1 at this point? Wow, Sinner nearly a year at world number 1, 51 weeks. Wow, 13th most. It's already past Murray, Querton. Next up, Jim Courier, 7 weeks away. That's crazy. And then Edberg, Hewitt. But those are, it's going to be a little while before he gets there. But Courier, just 7 weeks away. And Jim Courier, fantastic player. Although Alcaraz has already equaled him in majors. If Sinner wins the French, he's already equaled him too. In the final, Sinner will be playing to, Sinner won a major after Alcaraz won a major. If potentially Sinner was 1 point away from being first against Alcaraz at the U.S. Open in that all-time epic quarterfinal. Djokovic with the smash. Oh, he missed it. I think it was close. Yeah, Novak's smash is just really his worst shot. But yeah, Sinner came to the party late in terms of winning Masters, becoming number 1. That was something, winning a slam. Alcaraz kind of beat him to it, but now that Sinner is at this prime level, yeah, he's kind of taking the lead there. And he'll be playing to tie Alcaraz's slam tally of four slams in the final of the French. So that could be interesting. Either be 5-3 or 4-4. That's a big difference. That could be a crucial slam miss, by the way. Every miss is crucial against Yannick, especially in moments like this at 5-5. Backhand Djokovic goes to the backhand of Sinner. Backhand Djokovic down the line. Forehand of Sinner. Cross court. Forehand of Djokovic. Forehand of Sinner. That's too good. Too big. Massive. 15-30. Absolute bullet. Absolute bullet. Backhand Djokovic. Big point. Just stays in. Forehand Novak. Forehand Yannick. That's in the net. Novak missing too many forehands. It feels like on the run. Into the net specifically. Once again, Yannick looking to lead the head-to-head. The last time Federer led the head-to-head against Djokovic was at the end of 2015, which was about 9.5 years ago, nearing on a decade ago. I'm going to look up about Nadal, the last time that he led him. Big moment here at 30-all. Forehand, return, forehand. Djokovic goes back cross court, could have went down the line. Maybe he decides to now. He does. 40-30, too strong. First forehand winner of the set. It says first one. It's crazy. He had so many in the second set. He's still at 5-5. A 98 miles per hour statement from Djokovic. That's an ace from Djokovic, 6-5. Most amount of games that Djokovic has won in a set today. He's still knocking on the door of winning a set. The match is not done. 6-5. 6-5. By the way, the last time that Nadal led a head-to-head against Djokovic. Yep, beginning of 2016, Djokovic passed Nadal. It was also the end of 2015. That's crazy, actually. 2015 ATP Finals. I don't remember this at all. Djokovic tied up the head-to-heads with Nadal and Federer at the same tournament. Almost the same head-to-head too. It's 22-22 against Federer and 23-23 against Nadal. So it's literally been a decade, pretty much, since an active player has led a head-to-head like that, and Sinner's still looking to do that. Feel bad for Novak. Sinner's out of this world. Yikes, but come on, Novak. Yep. He definitely is. 6-5. He's giving himself a chance here, though. Once again, guys, please don't forget to like if you haven't already. It'd be appreciated. All-time major title leaders. I still don't really know why they're showing men's and women's, even though men and women never compete against each other, but that's what's being shown. But Novak at 24, Rafa at 22, Roger at 20, and then on the women's side, Court with 24, Williams at 20, Serena Williams at 23, and Steffi Graf at 22. The all-time leaders. I always give an asterisk to Monica Seles, who was stabbed early in her career. Who knows how many she would have put up. All right, we got 6-5 here for Djokovic. Sinner to serve. Big moments here. Huge noise from the crowd. Sinner looking to serve. Take it in, guys. Novak's still playing at a level like this in a semifinal, knocking on the door for a set against the world number one. Take it in, guys. Just never know how many more times we'll see this. And I would have said those exact words about 10 years ago. Like, it seems like Djokovic never quits. But anyway, you just never know. At 38 years old, only one man has reached more than one semifinal. So we'll see if Djokovic matches that. 15 love for Sinner with an ace to start out the game. It's the fifth ace of the set. Could be a tiebreaker. Seems like we're going towards a tiebreaker. First set in Shanghai last year, I believe, was also a tiebreaker. Gonna double check on that. Forehand, backhand miss from Sinner. It's 3 points away for Djokovic. Yeah, first set in Shanghai was a tiebreaker, 7-4 for Sinner. Djokovic won a tiebreaker in their last meeting at a major, 8-6, saved a match point. Couple tiebreakers going either direction at the ATP Finals a couple of years ago. Tiebreaker at Wimbledon. They've played a few now, going either Sinner winning some, Djokovic winning some. I'd say Djokovic has won more, though, looking at that. But, no, I mean, it might be even. Anyway. 30-15. Serve out wide, just out. Over 3 hours of play, by far the longest match Sinner's playing this tournament, which is kind of a crazy thing to say, but it is. It being just a 3-set match. Forehand, cross court, goes to the forehand of Sinner. Forehand of Djokovic. Forehand of Sinner, missed it wide. It's 2 points away for Djokovic. He's already had 3-set points. Federer. I said Federer. Sinner has missed too many forehands down the line on the run, or at least moving towards his right side. I feel like from the back of the court, just like way behind the baseline, missing too many forehands. Usually in the net, they're wide. Just feel like when he's going forehand to forehand with Alcaraz, it's not going to get that much easier. Serve here for Sinner. Big serve down the tee. That's a good return. It's too strong, though. He's such a pace generator, Jannik. I mean, he just generates pace at ease. Does Jannik Sinner? He's a pace generator. 40-30. One of the best pace generators that we've maybe ever seen in the sport. Point blank, period. Backhand, Sinner, down the line. Forehand, Djokovic, up high. Backhand of Sinner. Forehand of Djokovic, misses it. Got a chance there. All right, let me know, guys. Who's going to win the tiebreaker? What's going to be the score? Whoever gets the closest, type in the chat what your predictions. Take a random guess. Whoever gets the closest, I'll shout out you. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. I'm going to go with Sinner winning the tiebreaker. 7-5, but who knows, man. I said Sinner in 4 sets before the match started. Djokovic can win the set. He already had 3-set points, but I'll say Sinner 7-5. Let me know what you guys think. 12-10 Sinner, okay. Tiebreak, there you go. Let me know predictions. Sinner winning 6-7-4, I guess. Sinner 7-4, okay. Seeing all Sinners, no love for Novak, 7-4 Sinner, okay. Backhand cross court, backhand of Yannick. What a rally started off. Novak misses that one. First mini break to center. Great defense to offense from Sinner, particularly on that backhand side. 1-0, earning this. And Sinner will definitely earn a head-to-head lead against Djokovic. I do believe this would be the first time in almost a decade since Federer and Nadal were leading Djokovic that a man would truly lead a true rivalry against Djokovic, where they've played at least 4 times. Good return from Djokovic. He's in this rally, forehand sliced. Great defense from Djokovic. Forehand from Sinner, backhand Djokovic defending. That's going to be out. Sinner taking his legs, just smashing every ball, and he is an absolute machine, a warrior, a fighter, a gladiator. Sinner pounding every ball he can get, every ball he can find. Pace coming at ease with big forehand strikes, and Novak saying, man, what do I have to do? This guy's just me, but he hits harder. 2-0. This guy's just me, but he hits harder, and he's younger by 15 years. But what an effort from Novak. Won the longer 3-set matches, if that's what it ends up being. Forehand, inside out. That hits the net from Sinner. A chance for Novak. Get the mini break back. Forehand, Sinner defending. Smash. No! Novak misses the easiest overhead of the day. Novak needs to let the overheads bounce, hit rather than hit an overhead, hit a forehand something. That was the easiest shot of the day. Misses into the net. That was absolutely crucial. He could have made this a close tiebreaker, but now I reckon Sinner's going to run away with it unless Novak can just forget about that quickly. But listen, even the greatest of all time can hit. Listen, I can hit that shot. And I think any of us can hit that shot. Even the greatest of all time. It's not always pretty out there. Especially when the bright lights, you're looking up at the bright lights. Second serve for Djokovic. Forehand Sinner. Backhand Djokovic. Backhand of Sinner. It's long. Be such a shame if that's the whimper that Novak goes out with in this match, but it might end up being so, unfortunately. Sinner shouldn't have missed that backhand, but it is what it is. 1-3. Serve. Djokovic. Misses it wide. Second serve. 3 hours and 12 minutes. Just 3 sets of play. Forehand. Cross court. Forehand of Djokovic. Down line. Backhand slice. Goes out. 3-2. Djokovic with some better points. Still some chance for Djokovic here. Sinner needs to win 4 straight points on serve, which is very doable. He needs to win 4 straight points on serve to get the job done here. Still a chance for Novak to fight back. He would like to do it here before it gets too close to the end. You know, if Sinner is serving at 6-4 and Novak breaks, he's still facing a match point. It would be better if Novak can get it done here. Novak did save a match point the last time that these two played at Grand Slam level and pushed it to a 4th set, but he doesn't want to have to do it again. No way. Sinner continues to miss first serves. He's made more of them in this 3rd set by far, but continues to miss first serves at an uncharacteristic level. Backhand Djokovic goes to the forehand of Sinner. Chance for Djokovic in this rally. Forehand cross court. Forehand Djokovic goes for a big one. Cross court doesn't get it. 4-2. 4-2. He had a chance that rally. Djokovic potentially backed up way too far behind the baseline, and that made it so it was going to be very hard to find the right amount of depth in the court, hitting from so far behind the baseline. It should have been 2-1 to start off this tiebreaker, but it is what it is. Center 7-5, center 7-4. All right, guys. And thank you guys for joining in. Casey, Max, Lexi, Peaches, Essake1, Zara. We got so many people in here. So Sneak Hill, Matthew, everybody who joined in. Thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Subscribe, ring that notification bell, all of that stuff, because we got so much more coming this summer. And we'll have the final. But it is Sinner for now, serving up 4-2. Trying to do the rare thing of trying to straight set Novak Djokovic, which is really so rare in a best of 5. It would be the second straight major on a natural surface where he gets straight setted by Sinner or Alcaraz. Although he beat Alcaraz in straight sets at the Olympics on natural surface, but point stands. Best of 5, that is hard to do. 5-2, a bit of a statement from the next generation, especially since Novak has been playing at such high level, especially in the second and the third set. Would have been an ace, but it's a let from Novak. It's still 1 mini break difference. 3 hours and 15 minutes of play. Forehand, Sinner. Forehand of Djokovic. It's out. 6-2 for Sinner with 4 match points. Unbelievable effort from a 38-year-old Djokovic for the performance he's had. 3 hours and 15 minutes of long rallies, physical, high-level tennis, but Novak is facing down 4 match points. Serve out wide. Forehand, Djokovic. Down the middle. Backhand, Sinner. Forehand, Djokovic. Cross court, forehand of Sinner. Goes for a big one down the line. Doesn't get it. Saves 1. 3 match points. 2 on Sinner's serve. The last time Djokovic played Rafa on this court at a Grand Slam level, not counting the Olympics. I remember the 4th set, Novak was down 6-1. He pushed it to 6-4 and almost came back in that tiebreaker. But it's going to be hard to do that. 6-3, match point number 2. Sinner's got 3 match points. To lead the head-to-head against Novak Djokovic, something that it's like no one has done, basically. Something that nobody has literally done for a post-2011 Novak. Serve, Sinner, check serve, backhand Djokovic, forehand Sinner, down the middle, backhand the net. Sinner sets up the first Grand Slam final meeting between Sinner and Alcaraz. We get the big one. Jannik Sinner versus Carlos Alcaraz in the final. You better believe it. 3 sets over Novak. Breaks a 7-year streak of Novak not losing a match in straight sets before the final Grand Slam level. Hasn't happened since Chung at the Australian Open. Sinner does it. He has Alcaraz to play in the final. Probably needs to up his level a little bit, but it was a really high-level match. You don't see 3-set matches 3 hours and 18 minutes long very often. It's not completely the first time, but it's not very often. A great win for Jannik Sinner. Thank you guys for joining in. And don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like all of that stuff. Appreciate you guys joining in. Thank you, SA. Thank you, Lexi. This was a fun one. Go away, Sinner. Congrats, Sinner. Nice. Congrats, Sarah. Norway wins. Congrats. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm not following soccer. I'm following the NBA, and Tyrese Halliburton is unbelievable with another clutch comeback. There's no comeback for Novak today, but yeah, how many more times are we going to see him play? I think he waves off to the crowd. I'm hoping it's not the last time. I mean, that court, what has this court meant for Novak? His first slam where he gets to 100 wins, winning the Novak Slam. I mean, so many things. Getting the slam record, winning the Olympic gold medal. Sinner just making 51% of first serves, though. He's got to do better than that. And too many unforced errors as well. But listen, he still played a hell of a match. And he had a world #1 performance. I'm just thinking about how well he needs to play against Alcaraz in the final, and it's gotta be good. But yeah, join in for us then. Thank you guys for joining in. And yeah, Novak Djokovic in his 51st major semifinal puts up a great performance at 38 years old, but not good enough against the level that Jannik has to show. He will take on Carlos Alcaraz in their first major final. We've been waiting for it. We get it on Sunday. See you guys then.
Bye.